Testing. Mic check. What's up? Kate? What's up, Mitch Short? Oh, great. Tits on an iceberg. Where the hell is my phone? Man, I'm tired of all these spam texts. Who else gets spam texts? Some random ass people that you never seen, and they're just like, hey, I don't know who you are, so I'm not gonna say hey back, first of all. And the audacity to dare text upon me with nothing but scams? Are you kidding me? The audacity. I'm so sick of it. It's crazy, man. You know, you put your phone number into these places and they sell your information. You know, you put your phone number into a store and you get money, or the store gets money because you use the store to buy something, and they get money again by selling your information. Nonsense. Now I have to deal with freaking Ashley texting me. Who the hell is Ashley? Just saying. So, right now, I got the reactor running. It's been running for what? An hour and 15 minutes. And, I just said, you know what? Let's go live. It's been a while since I've actually done a live stream for everybody, where I'm like live on every platform. So we just got YouTube started. We're about to get Instagram started. Of course, guys, I got the PPE on. I'm doing good, DJ Gamer. How about you? Guys, listen, maybe you guys can help me right now. And I know, you guys are probably tired, like, oh my gosh, every live stream, this dude is bitching about this plastic shredder, okay? I'm not bitching about it this time. I'm looking for solutions. Because I have tried another method, right? I have tried to realign the blades. I've sharpened the blades. I've oiled the blades. You mean if anybody knows how to oil, it's... Look, there's only one person who knows how to oil better than me, and it's Diddy, clearly. He got the best oil game in the world. But you said Jeremy is watching? Who is Jeremy? Sounds like some spam texter. Sounds like some type of election texter. Hey, I'm Jeremy. I'm Trump's uncle's cousin's nephew. And I want you to vote. Listen, so I don't know, guys. Well, you guys got any idea of the plastic shredder? Because listen, guys, I'm planning to either build one or to get another one. Okay? So, you know, if I can't find the problem, I don't know what I've been doing, because I should have literally just, I should have been recorded a video of the problem and maybe get some troubleshooting going, but whatever. I'll do that at some point. Let me get this Facebook going. Oh my goodness, what is going on? Is this phone hacked or something? The Facebook is like moving on it by itself. What's up, Memory, on the Instagram? You said use a wood chipper? Guys, look at this crap. Look what look, I just opened Facebook. I'm not touching the phone. I didn't even open this thread. I don't look at this. What is this, TMZ? It's just moving by itself. Did the milk carton work? Yes, guys. Oh. Thank you. That reminds me. I want to show you guys something cool. Let me get Facebook started, though. Get off of this. Who's this, Madonna? Man, get this crap out of my feed, please. The only person I want to see in my feed is Diddy. What? I mean, phone lagging. Hey, how's everybody doing? Is that a German flag? Hey, much love to Germany. Much love, Germany. Much love to all the international folks. I'm in the United States. Much love to all the people in the United States. Much love to all the international folks. Much love to all the people. All the people. What's up, Solid Number 8? Thank you for being a Pyrolysis Tribe member on YouTube. You said Weed Whacker Powered Blender. I tried my Weed Whacker, and it was a horrible experience. For one, I was terrified of the blade flying off and hitting me. I had a face shield on. I was still scared. And for two, it literally just shot plastic everywhere, and then the threads were not like consistent. It was a horrible experience. I personally wouldn't go through that again. You know, I personally wouldn't. It's very messy and polluting to do that. I did it in the 55-gallon drum, like I've seen some of you guys suggest. Much love to Cali, Dot. But anyways, guys, let me show you some of these oils in a second. Where the heck is the live button on Facebook, man? Got me feeling like I'm an old person on the old person app, Facebook. Oh my goodness, can't find this crap. Golly. Listen, guys, so we got some exciting news concerning the analysis of these products. We got the analysis of HDPE coming soon to a theater near you. And I'm gonna show you guys. I'm gonna show you guys some of the work I've been doing in just a second here. Just wanna get yeah, I gotta show TikTok some love too. You know, we're over here on like what, 4 platforms at the same time. Yeah, just spread out the coverage here. What the hell is my other freaking page? Goodness gracious. Alright, well it is what it is. I would love to go live on TikTok though if I could. Here it is. Alright, so let me plug this crap in. And we're gonna go live on TikTok too, because why not? We're already live on everything else, so why not go live on TikTok? And I want to show you guys some of this oil I got that we're gonna send out for analysis soon. In fact, I plan to send it out before the end of this month, but we got some refining we want to do of it, because we are going to send the crude version of it, just like the dirty version, and then also all the refined constituents. And I think that'll be pretty fun. That'll be pretty good to see, like, okay, we have like this plastic crude oil, and it's like dirty and messy, it won't work in an engine, but it may be like that might have some crazy stuff in it, but they're heavy. And then when we refine that into like some the gasoline alternative, plastoline, plastic diesel, will that stuff still be in there? We're gonna see. What the? Hey, please, woman, please. There's some. I'm just trying to go live on TikTok, and all I hear is Daddy Trump, and this woman is there. Look, I'm not saying anything's going on, but I'm just saying, I'm just trying to go live, guys. I'm just trying to go. I'm not trying to do any of this Daddy Trump. All right, let's go live. You said, I'd like to see you in PPE. Thank you. You said you should go on Shark Tank. I don't want to give up a whole bunch of my company. I know at some point you had to give up something, but you know, they're called sharks. They literally call themselves sharks on Shark Tank. You couldn't be more manifesting of what you're gonna try to do to me, right? Sorry. I'll go in Diddy's tank. How about that? All right, come on, TikTok. I wonder if there's a leak somewhere. I feel like, I don't know if it was just a mental thing, but I kind of feel like I got a whiff of some of the natural gas that I'm compressing right now, but I don't smell it anymore. Sometimes, you know, when you have these tanks compressing to several hundred PSI, you know, you could have a fitting that you need to just turn one more time, and if you don't turn it one more time, it's gonna leak. Just a little bit, just a little bit. So I might go and check those things. Well, let's go live on TikTok. Man, I'll show you guys. Where is my glove? All right, yes, gloves, guys. PPE. We're coming with the PPE. All right, TikTok, what are you doing? You said it right. They eat you alive. Exactly. Because you know what the whole point of Shark Tank is? They want to convince you that you are worth less than what you think. So that way you give them more equity. And I think that that's kind of messed up. Their whole idea is to put you in a place of desperation. You should always be in a place of power, and so that way you don't make decisions out of desperation. So guys, we did a run of just HDPE. And HDPE is the same plastic that they use in milk cartons. The same plastic they use in like sweet tea jugs. And some other things, but take a look at the crude oil from HDPE. This is the raw oil that came out the machine, and just take a look at it. It's different than most of the plastic crude oil. Usually the plastic crude oil is darker. You know, almost like coffee looking. This is like really, really thick, and it's kind of looks like sewage. I mean, I'll be honest, it kind of looks like sewage, doesn't it? Maybe I should take a sip, see how it tastes. Maybe I shouldn't. I'm not going to. Today's not the day for that. But, you know, can we refine this into baby oil? That's the question. I mean, not baby oil, but plastiline and plastic diesel, plastic kerosene. Yes, we can, because they're all in here. It's just, you know, they're kind of like all mixed together. And then there's some heavier things in here mixed together. Did you get another shredder? No, unfortunately, I'm not going to be able to get another shredder until early 2025. That's why I've been trying to fix my shredder. You said, have you blocked Peter yet? He hates on every post. Listen, guys, I don't believe in censorship. And the truth is, I don't care if anybody is being positive or negative. I believe everybody has the right to say what they want to say, because it's not really up to, you know, people are going to say what they say no matter what. You can never control what somebody says. You can only control how you internalize what people say. So I don't believe in any type of censorship, and I will never block anybody. I don't care, you know, I think there's better things I can be done with your time, but if that's what you want to do, you know, that's your life. Let's see, because I tell you this, I certainly am not commenting on every single person's post. I'm busy building a machine. You said, should I drink it another time? Yeah, this stuff is pretty sludgy stuff. It honestly looks like sewage, but that's kind of the beauty of it, because you're gonna see how it looks now versus after we refine it. And I actually have glassware that we're gonna refine it with. You said, either way, you're my new hero. Well, thank you very much. That's quite a daunting responsibility you're giving me there. So I hope to live up to it best I can. I mean, look, guys, here's the thing. Baby oil is a petroleum product. Plastic is a petroleum product. So just like we're turning plastic into, you know, gasoline and oil, I think we can make baby oil. Don't you guys think? I think we can make baby oil. Now, I'm just trying to get this TikTok live going. It's not working out for me. It really isn't. I'm only gonna try for a little bit longer, and then I'm gonna show you guys some oils coming out of the machine. Yeah. There's some visible oils coming out. Matter of fact, I spin these blades a little bit. Oh no, they're making me log in and stuff. I don't know about this one. I don't know if I want to keep working on this. Look, because I go live on TikTok and it's just a black screen. I give it one more go, you know. I give it one more go. It's been a few days since I've gone live on everything. It's been a few weeks actually, but we were trying to tap in with everybody. But we're already on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. So, you know, we'll go live on TikTok tomorrow if this doesn't work. But I'm gonna show you guys this oil that's coming out the machine. I have a few sight glasses, guys. I love sight glasses. All right, nobody loves sight glasses more than Naturejab. I love them so much, and I would love to have so many more. Especially because they're chemical resistant, they're heat resistant, it's borosilicate glass. Why not have as many as you freaking can? See everything. Just saying. So we have a sight glass in which we can see some visible oils coming out. So let's go over there, class. Gotta move all these phone stands, you know, solo dolo. Just grab them all together, bear hug all these phone stands, 4 live streams at once. And let's go over here And this is going to be an interesting thing for you guys to see. An interesting thing for me to see. And why is it going to be interesting? Because we're going to have to go under. You're going to have to come down with me to see these, to see this. Oh, I flipped the camera on Facebook. Oops. Yeah, you guys are going to have to come down with me to see this. So, I don't know if you're, look, not everybody is down to get down with a freak off, but if you are, let's go. All right, let's start with YouTube. YouTube, you guys can see first the oil, and then we're gonna go to Instagram, and then after Instagram, we'll go to TikTok. We'll go to Facebook, then TikTok. We'll go in the order in which I'm going live. All right. These freaking wires, guys. I'm telling you. Maybe I should turn all these wires into fuel so they get out of my freaking way, man. All these Ethernet cords. All right, YouTube. Take a look, YouTube. So you can see that we have some live oil falling down the machine, and this whole pipe column here is starting to heat up. So that's live oil. You can obviously tell it's oil, not water. All right, next, Instagram. Your patience has paid off, Instagram. Your patience of waiting a mere 10 seconds is going to pay off because you're going to see some live oils. You're going to see some live oils right now. You couldn't even have this phone on Ethernet. Thank goodness. So there you see the bottom of this sight glass. We got live oil going into the keg. And I got an explanation for all you guys. Oh, my fingernails are dirty. Gotta clean them things. Unacceptable. Listen, I got an explanation for you guys about how the pipe system works. Next, Facebook. All right, guys, you guys on Facebook, your patience is paid off for waiting 15 seconds. You guys get to see the live oil coming into the machine. We're going out of the machine. Being produced from plastic waste. What the heck? All right, here we go. There you go, guys. Oil from plastic waste. You see it live. That's obviously oil. It's going into this keg. Look, it's coming through the machine. Boom! There you go. All right. Next. And why do things keep popping up on my screen? All right. TikTok. All right, guys. Look, we're almost done. This is no easier for me than it is for you. Okay. Look, guys, on TikTok it says there's 5 people in here. Is that true? Because I'm not gonna be using my Starlink data for if TikTok is gonna shadow that in my live stream. I'm just saying. Is there really only 5 people on TikTok? Hey guys, this data is expensive. Yeah, but anyways, we got oil coming out of this like glass here from the machine, going into the cake. Now, without further ado, let me explain what you guys are seeing. Okay? Because there's more than meets the eye. Like Optimus Prime says, there's more than meets the eye, guys. Like Sam Witwicky. Oh, shh. Dropped my phone. Alright, anyway. There's more than meets the eye. So I gotta kind of, back up all the live streams here, so you guys can see what I'm trying to break down for you. But there's issues happening. Let's just do this one by one. All right. So So guys, there is a reason why the plumbing system on the machine is like this. The way how everything is orientated. Yeah, guys, on TikTok, I'm on IG, I'm on Facebook. I don't know what TikTok's doing. Maybe I'll try to go live again. Sometimes, I don't know what the internet makes it think that, whatever. But let us go ahead and I gotta kind of move all these screens down so I can break this down for all of you on how this works. So, because this is what I call an updraft condenser system, an updraft condenser. All right. All right. So, what we got here is a system in which we are trying to recover as many oils as possible. Now guys, you need to remember that this machine operates under vacuum. That means that this machine is under constant suction force. Constant suction force is constantly being sucked like a vacuum cleaner. And with that being the case, we have hot vapors that we need to get the oils out of, right? Hot vapors we need to cool down, but they're being sucked so quickly through all of this. So we have to have as much surface area of cooling as possible, right? So the reason why we have this system set up like this is so that way, I want you guys to realize and understand the power of condensation. Okay, so I showed you guys the oil coming out of the machine, right? And you guys can see where I showed you it. I showed you the oil coming out of the machine over here. Now this is not a condenser. This is literally just a pipe open to the air. These vapors are very, very hot, and the air is cooling down the pipes, right? Just a little bit. And that causes these vapors to lose some of their heat, and they start to condense. The condensers do not even start until we get up here to this Mac Diddy condenser, 8 inches, 8-inch thick. So we do not even start to condense a thing until we get here. But nonetheless, the vapors still condense because they lose their heat through all of this metal getting over here. So they lose their heat here, they lose their heat through this whole keg. So there's oils forming inside of the keg on all of the walls that we cannot even see. You only know when you finish the run and you open the valve, right? But the vapors are still being soaked so much that are being soaked, and they go up here. They go up this condenser, and then look, there's more condensers. There's even more. You see, it gets very tall, and I actually have a part on the way to make this not as tall. We're gonna actually get a coil condenser like the moonshiners used. You know, 40 foot of steel coil that's jacketed, that we can put cold water, and I'm gonna eventually get a better freezer that can go to negative 20 degrees Celsius. That is negative 4 degrees Fahrenheit, very cold. We have to pump ethanol into it. So that is the idea. Because listen, guys, I have all of this. You saw all of these areas of condensation, and I have all of this, and yet I still do not get all of my oils out. Diddy is upset because I told him I would give him 100 gallons of baby oil. I only can give him 99 gallons because I am still losing oil even through all of this because the vacuum is sucking it. The vacuum is sucking it too much. So that's the issue. Now listen, if I had this machine not under vacuum, then this would not be an issue. But why do I have the machine under vacuum? Why do I have the machine being sucked? Because there are many, many advantages to that. And one of the biggest advantages is that with the machine being sucked, the same pump that does the sucking does the thrusting. So the pump sucks it and thrusts the vapors into my natural gas tanks. So it compresses them. It's a 2-in-1. So instead of me having to compress my natural gas after the run is done, it's being compressed while the machine is running. That's one of the huge advantages. The next really big advantage to this is that the machine being under vacuum, it does not need to be as hot for the plastic to break down to the same degree. When something is in a negative atmosphere, it requires less heat before it starts to reach its boiling point. Next advantage to it being under vacuum, since there's a constant suction on the machine, the chances of an explosion go way down because pressure is not building. So how can it blow up if there's no pressure building? Things try to, build pressure and they're being sucked out. And speaking of that, I need to actually go shift over my tank here, my natural gas tank, because it is near full. So here's how it works, right? I was explaining to you guys about what we made. We made this crude oil from HDPE. Now, because this oil is going to be done for a scientific analysis, I am going to be refining this through my glassware distillation setup, which will let me be very, very precise and control it very, very well. But, for example, let me get you some other crude oil I made. When I do random runs of plastic that's not done to be super scientific, and I get crude oil like this, for example, of maybe just random mixed plastic, well, this goes into a distiller, which is a refiner, and I can end up using the natural gas to power that refiner to refine this. So there is no additional energy to refine the plastic crude products that we get out here. So that's what we do. And so it's like a 2-in-1, right? You get the natural gas, and then you can use that natural gas to refine this into usable engine products, because this right here is too complex of a mix, right? Too complex of a mix of different types of fuel products for most engines. Now, some engines can burn this just fine. But then there becomes the issue of, okay, well, you do not really know the composition of this. Once you distill something, you can have at least an idea of something's composition via the boiling point of it, right? But this right here, this is a conglomerate. This is an absolute freak show of different oils rubbing each other, right? So that's all it is. And on top of that, you know, this right here, I'll give an analogy, right? So all of us know where Diddy is in right now, right? Diddy's in jail. And right now, Diddy right now is just like this crude oil. Because this crude oil is a mix of so many different oils just trapped together. And, well, the baby oil is trapped in here. The baby oil is in jail. We want to get the baby oil out. And the only way to do that, well, is to refine and distill this so we can turn this dark oil. Look, this oil is trying to beat me. It's almost as dark as me. Not quite, but it's trying to get there. But we could turn this into clean products that are golden, products that, you know, the diesel product I made always look like off-road diesel, like red, right? It's always like this red color, but we'll see when I refine it this time what color it ends up being. It's kind of interesting. It depends on the type of plastic you put in. It depends on the temperatures. There's so many factors that go into your oils. There's so many. You said crude or crude oil? Well, I say it's a crude oil because it's crude in nature, in the sense of it's like raw. You know, it's so many different things together. This is the raw output of the machine. So it's like crude is the adjective, right? It's kind of like, you know, it's what it is. This is the raw thing. It's not cleaned up. It's dirty. So I don't know if the oil is like Diddy, but we get it. Yeah, you're welcome. Listen, Aaron, I'm here to help you understand this process, and I will give the best analogies possible to expand the awareness of what we're doing here. I will give the best analogies I can. All right. So, with that being said, let me actually see. So at some point in time, guys, let me show you something. And hopefully it's not too dark. Now, at some point in time, we actually can start to see oils coming and dripping down from this reflux condenser here. What do you call this? Oh, what temperatures are we at? Okay. All right, so we're doing good. The run's been going for 2 hours. We're now down to 6,900 watts of electrical consumption because we only have 4 out of 6 magnetrons on. As the machine heats up, we get to turn off the magnetrons to save electrical consumption, because they only need to be on to get the machine hot, right? So we don't have to keep all of them on at all times. So you see I have this sight glass right here, down here. And so this sight glass, actually, the oil from the other sight glass you saw is coming downhill. This sight glass, the oil will be falling down because the vapors are trying to travel up and push. But this is cold. And all these pipes above here are cold. And they have high surface area. They have a whole bunch of mini holes in them. So the vapors lose their heat, and then they condense into oils, and the oils fall down back into the keg. This is why I call it the updraft condenser, right? Because the oils are fighting, or the vapors are fighting, going up with the cold. And let me see, at some point in time, once the machine is hot enough, this keg starts to get pretty warm. And once this keg starts to get pretty warm, we start to see more and more vapors falling down through this sight glass here. But this is really the last line of defense. After this condenser system, there's really there's no other place for the oils to lose their heat energy and to condense. And then so we end up getting oils and moisture into the compressor, which ends up into the tanks. And that's why it's so important that we have a very strong condensation system. On top of that, once again, if we don't have a strong system, we lose oil. Grant Tucker, thank you for the $5 on YouTube. You said, any chance of you doing an energy balance or some other supporting work to quantitatively show the efficiency of or economics? Yes, Grant Tucker, I would love to do that. And actually, I was very close to doing my run, my energy efficiency run. But here's how this machine operates. This machine is only efficient when there are large amounts of plastic in there. You need 10 pounds or more of plastic, which is a lot of plastic, by the way. In fact, the max capacity of this machine is about 30 pounds at one time. But you can only get that much plastic in there if it's shredded. And as you all know, my plastic shredder, as I've said a million times, right? Unfortunately, something is wrong with it. I don't really know what's going on. So right now, I'm about to either build or order another shredder that will be here by 2025 January, and we can do the run then. Because you have to pack it full of plastic for it to be the most efficient. And then on top of that, you have to have your condensation system all the way strong so you don't lose any oils. And you get as much natural gas as you can for efficiency, right? Because if we're talking energy balance, you want to get as many products as you can and put in as little energy as you can, right? That's energy balance 101. But that's not fair for me to do this if I can't even load it full of plastic like I want to, because I don't have it shredded. So once I get my shredder, we're doing that 100%. So, and that's why it was so annoying to me when my shredder went out, because we had finally moved the machine and got it running here in Alabama, and then that happens, and I'm like, the Viva, that's life, right? Things just happen you don't account for. I would have never accounted for my shredder going out. And now it's going to be like $2,000 to get another one, right? I'm going to get a good one. I'm going to get a really good one from Alibaba or something. You know, the big double shaft ones. This is a single shaft shredder. It spins fast. I want the big slow ones that go like that. Eat it up. You know what I'm saying? That's what I want. Because those, I can just throw in like a whole milk jug. Don't even have to cut it up. It'll just eat it. That's what I want. I want simple, okay? I've got too old for this complex stuff. I need it simple, all right? Let me get my water. Let me get my water, guys. And listen, you said plastic moonshiner. You said, dog, how does your brain work, gang? Like, what gave you the idea to do this? Listen, man, it's just, I saw a problem, and I just wanted to be a part of the change for a solution. That literally was it. And I did not let my mind hold me back. My mind to limit me. That's it. I didn't let my mind or anybody limit me or hold me back. So if my mind was like, oh, that might not be possible, or somebody's telling me that might not be possible, I'm like, it has to be possible. There has to be a way to do it. And you combine that with never giving up, and you can really do anything. with enough time, you can really do anything. You know, because things grow in efficiency with time. So the more time you give something, the better things get. So, you know, when I started this project, I was literally building a machine the size of a crock pot. Now the machine is bigger than me. But it's been 4 years. You have to give it time. You have to keep going. Have to keep asking questions. Have to keep finding solutions. That's it. So, anyways, I was saying, I got my water, and this is a great time. Everybody watching the live stream, stay hydrated, okay? Drink some water. It's great for you, okay? Gotta keep your throat lubed up for Diddy. This is your reminder. This is your reminder. Drink your water, all right? Drink your water. Is there specific types of plastic that is compostable? Yeah, biodegradable plastic, some of it is indeed compostable. The issue with making plastic that is, you know, able to be broken apart by microbes is it kind of defeats the whole point of plastic. How would you feel if I told you that the most critical component on your car or on an airplane can be broken apart by bacteria? You'd be like, hell no, I'd never go in that thing, right? That's kind of the issue. In fact, BMW started using biodegradable plastic in their cars, and stuff is starting to crack, you know? You know, that's the issue. We use plastic because it doesn't break down. So there has to be a solution we find that is not about replacing plastic with something that is worse, but actually destroying the plastic into its basic components that's no longer plastic. Terrence Runcore, thank you for the $50 super chat on YouTube. You said, here's for the project. Be safe. Thank you so much, Terrence Runcore. Guys, this project is 100% crowdfunded. We've been crowdfunded for all these years, not giving up equity like that. So I appreciate you guys so much. It helps out so much, man. Even $1 donation, all of that, man. So I appreciate you guys so much. We got Terrence, and then who else on YouTube at the super chat? Grant Tucker. So thank you guys so much. It's $50 super chat. Yeah. Do you have fire extinguishers? Yes, there's a fire extinguisher right there. You can see it. And I have another one over here and another one over there. So I got a few fire extinguishers. I need to get even more. And honestly, guys, there's not much of a fire risk from this machine. It's more of a fire risk from the distiller. Because the distiller is basically the equivalent of boiling gasoline on your stove. You know. So you're doing amazing work, man. Thank you so much, Brody. Thank you so much, man. Yeah, guys, I smell a natural gas. I smell natural gas. So I think that one of my fittings is leaking. I'm about to take my soapy water, and I'm gonna spray around some of these fittings. So give me a moment here, because we just gotta check and find out where this leak is, because I can smell some natural gas. And that's no good. This is the best way to find a leak. Just take some soapy water. Oh wait, I need to get a light as well. Let's get this light, and I will find this quickly. I found it! Silly me, look, I have this manifold here for me to be able to switch the tanks, the natural gas tanks easily. And I put pipe dope on every single one of these except for this. See, I have to put pipe dope and Teflon tape. If I only do one, if I only do the tape, it leaks. So that's what happened here. So I'm gonna put some dope on this right now. But I just got, I have one of the tanks. I have it going into one of the tanks now. So we're not just emitting the natural gas, but I need to do this repair real quick. This type of thing happens, you know, it's expected. I'm not live when I do these types of things usually. That's the only difference. I usually keep these situations to myself. You know what's interesting, guys? Here's what's very interesting. The natural gas that comes from this process literally smells identical, just like the natural gas that's on your stove. Like the exact same. It's kind of weird, because you would think, oh, maybe it might smell like plasticky or something. No, it literally smells identical to the natural gas that we all are used to. It's weird how that works, right? You know, we don't know the composition of it yet, but by nature, it shouldn't be that much methane. It shouldn't be composed of a crazy amount of methane because, you know, it should be more hydrogen than methane, but that's just theory. Of course, we'll know when I get the natural gas analyzed. I will let you guys know now, though, we are focusing on the oils, okay? First, for the analysis. We're not going to worry about the natural gas or carbon in the beginning. We're going to do those, but those are going to come in a little bit. And the reason why is because it's a lot of different, you know, it's a lot to do all these different things, right? It's a lot. So the guy that's doing the analysis for me, he was like, let's just stick with the oils first, and then we'll do the natural gas and carbon later. I'm like, that's fair, that's fair. It's a lot of different things, you know. There's so many oils. Because listen, guys, I have to do every single type of plastic. Then we have to get the crude oil. Then we have to refine it to get the plastiline, the plastidiezel, and the plastic kerosene. So that's, what is that? Crude oil, plastiline, that's 4 things, right? That's 4 things per every type of plastic. So just for the types of plastic alone, I think we're doing, let me see, we're gonna do HDPE, LDPE, polystyrene, PET, polyethyl terephthalate. We're going to do polypropylene, that's 5. So that's 20 analyses just for the oils. It's a lot of analyses, right? So we got to do process, we got to divide and conquer here. But let me refix these fittings so we can get my manifold back in place, you know. And don't tell somebody there's manifolds over here, because there's this certain person in the world where if he hears the word man, he goes crazy, and all he can think about is Meek Mill, if you know what I mean. Catch my drift. So, you know, I know they say you only have to put on like the dope, but I put on both personally. The tape is definitely not enough, and these gloves make it so hard. I really don't want to get my hands that dirty though, but it is what it is. I'll wipe them off with some baby wipes. But yeah, the dope does wonders though. The dope does wonders for sure. I'm doped out today. So we're gonna dope this up, put these threads on here, get this little repair going. You know, I love that about this machine, you know. This machine, when it's running under vacuum, guys, you know, it's not really all that crazy. You know, the machine itself doesn't really have big issues. We don't get blowouts like we used to get of the gaskets because it's under vacuum. Everything holds better. And most of the things that could happen like this, you can kind of repair while it's running, because I just have the natural gas flowing to a tank right now while I'm doing this, and I can just hook this back up when I'm done. Right? So it's no big deal. You know, and I know I could use Loctite too, But I like pipe dope better because it seals it instantly. It's an instant seal. You don't have to wait, and it comes off just as easy, right? Loctite. It can be really tough to get that off once you get it on, and then if you want to take something off, you gotta wait for it to set again. But the pipe dope is immediate. I love the pipe dope. So I'm doped out. I'm a dope fiend. The only issue is it's a little bit messy, of course. That's the only issue. In fact, yo, wait a minute. I never really took the time to look, because I have this blue Teflon tape, but I never really took the time to look, is it even meant for, these type of gases? I know the yellow tape is usually standard. It's Monster, and so is my pipe dope. It's Monster. I love the Monster stuff, but I don't know if this is even rated for what I'm using it for. I never really took the time. Maybe that's why it leaks on me if I don't put dope over it. Maybe it's not meant for gases. Maybe it's only meant for liquids. I don't know. But all I know is it's not enough. I have to get the dope too. This only holds up for me up until about 100 psi. Then the tape starts to leak. But if I put dope on there, I've never exceeded the pressure of the dope. The doped up stuff. Never met its match. And I'm gonna be getting a meter too. One of those meters you put on you that lets you know like if there's a leak. I'm gonna have one that'll be mounted on the wall. Right now, guys, I'm just waiting on my next grant payment here. The grant is broken up over 2 years, so you gotta really budget. You gotta really budget use your money wisely. But when I moved the machine here to Alabama, it went way over budget, as things always do with any type of construction engineering. You set up. I had in fact, all the guys on my Patreon saw it. I showed everybody on my Patreon my list, right? I came up with a document for everything I plan to buy, and I had it very concise. But then when I came to move the machine, there were so many small expenses that I just couldn't have ever thought of. You said, is Teflon paste any good for your machine? Are you saying that as in could the machine handle Teflon paste? Because it could. The only issue with Teflon is it's polytetrafluorine or polytetrafluoride. There's fluoride in it, and that's a halogenated compound. And the only issue with the halogenated compounds is that you have to add something to react with them in the machine. So otherwise, you would have fluorinated compounds in your fuels, which will damage your engines, and obviously it's not good to breathe in. And the catalytic converter cannot react with these things, so it's gonna, get emitted. So that you have to. So for example, guys, I've never done a run of PVC in my machine, but I do actually know the product because I've read a lot of research papers. I actually know what you can put in the machine to allow the machine to run PVC. You have to put in garden lime. It is calcium oxide. No, not calcium oxide. What is that? Garden lime is calcium. Yo, guys, tell me what garden lime is. Because then there's quicklime too. I'm not trying to get them confused. The chemical structure of garden lime. But nonetheless, it has calcium in it. And when you mix that with the plastic, thank you for the badge, Zach, on the Instagram. When you mix it with the plastic, the calcium in the garden lime will react with the chloride and form calcium chlorate. Calcium carbonate, thank you. So that's an example. And I want to do I always tell everybody, I'm not going to do PVC until I have the tools to be able to analyze and make sure that, I'm putting the right ratios to get rid of or neutralize the chlorine. So that way I'm not having, chlorine all in my stuff, right? That's what I always told everybody. So, that's just an example. That's the good thing about chemistry. There's kind of a solution to everything. That's the basis of everything I'm doing now anyway. The idea of, okay, there's, plastic is a chemical structure that will not break down, but there has to be a chemical solution to solve that, and the solution is thermolysis, or to use heat to break something apart. And we could use a fire, but then that becomes an issue, because if you use a fire, well, It's kind of uncontrolled. It can be, you know, you could have an incinerator, which is controlled if done properly, right? But then it could also be very uncontrolled easily, and then it ends up being worse. So now I want to go through all of my stuff, all of these fittings I had on here before, and make sure they're doped up. I don't think this one was doped up. I only have 2 other ones I need to go over. It got to be doped up, because if it's not doped up, then it's going to leak. Eventually, we're going to have the same problem. It was such a small leak, too, I couldn't even hear it. I could only smell the natural gas. He said, we are growing mushrooms next, he said. Listen, there are some mushrooms that, yes, can eat plastic. There's some fungi, but that's not going to be the solution, guys. It grows too slow, look, I've grown mushrooms before. Like oyster mushrooms and stuff, from literally the spores. And they're not going to grow out in the sea. They're not going to grow out in the ocean where we need them the most. They're not going to grow, you know what I'm saying? Mushrooms need very specific fruiting conditions. Fungi needs very specific living conditions. So the only application of fungi consuming plastic will be if we literally can collect all the plastic and send it to a specific lab. And even then, you know, I mean, mushrooms and fungi grow quick compared to plants and trees, but they still take time. I just don't think that it's going to be practical. And you also have to remember that the salt on the plastic from the ocean will probably mess up the fungi's ability to colonize the plastic. We got a donation through the website. I don't know who donated. I can't see it because it came through on email, but thank you very much. Dang it, this freaking Teflon tape is peeling off. I think I went the wrong direction with it. Every time I try to put this dope on, it's just coming off. Hopefully that will fix it. But yeah, that's the thing, guys. I don't think that mushrooms and fungi are going to be the way. I love mushrooms. I love fungi, okay? You know, I'm a permaculturalist. I've grown so many vegetables. Ah, shit. I broke the freaking brush off the cap. I've grown so many vegetables. I've grown so many mushrooms. That's what got me started into this ultimately, because listen, guys, I used to do a whole bunch of gardening, sustainable gardening. And, you know, a part of sustainable gardening, you have to compost. That's a part of the game. You have to compost your food waste and take that compost, put it in the ground, put mulch over it, and then create the mycorrhizal networks within your garden by having living soil. And so I saw compost, and I'm like, there's no such thing as waste in the garden. You know? I can feed my scraps to chickens, or I can turn it into compost, and then the plants of next year, of next season, will literally grow out of the remains of the waste of this season. And so I looked in that, and I started to look into nature. And you look in nature, and there's no waste in nature either. Look in nature. Look in a forest. There's no waste. The trees, the fallen leaves from the trees fertilize the ground. They're a ground cover, a mulch at the same time. It's living soil. So we have all these things. There's no waste, but then look at us humans. Landfills? There's no freaking landfills in nature. Like, we shouldn't even have landfills, because landfills are mostly plastic waste and food waste. We all know what you can do with metal and glass. Recycle it infinitely. But why in the world do we have things like food going into landfills when that could be turned into compost? Why do we have plastic going into landfills? Now, this is how I didn't know what plastic was, and I went to figure out, you know, okay, we know what we can do with food. It's just not being done properly. We know what we can do with metal and glass, but what can be done with plastic? Thank you for the 20 stars, Marcus, on the Facebook. What can be done with plastic? And so I started to look into what plastic is. Because I'm like, okay, we all know that food that we put in our compost pile will ultimately break back down into things like carbon, you know, and just the beautiful compost. So it's all kind of made of the same thing. Now look up, what is plastic made of? Oh crap! Plastic is made of crude oil! Wait a minute! Wait! So you're telling me that this thing we're throwing all over the ocean, we're throwing all in the landfill, is made of something that we can use to make baby oil? I'm this flame. But it's made of something that we use to make everything. Crude oil, guys, and petroleum is literally in everything. Every freaking thing. Look, the more you research it, the more you'll be shocked. And you'll kind of be scared too, because then you realize they literally put petroleum products in our freaking food. I just saw the video from RFK talking about tartrazine. Red 40 is a petroleum product. Yellow 40, or yeah, whatever they call the crap, is in the freaking food. Is that right? No, it's not. But the point is, it's in everything. And so you're telling me that plastic is made of the same thing that's in everything, and we're just throwing it away? No, that makes zero sense. Zero sense, right? Obviously, there has to be a use. And so I found, pyrolysis, and I'm like, okay, that makes sense. But it's not even about turning it into fuel. It's not even about that. It's about being able to truly get rid of the plastic. And it's about, mimicking nature. No waste. It's just cool that everything in nature that is waste, it actually is a valuable thing. Compost is such a valuable thing. Living soil is such a valuable thing. Obviously, plastic, petroleum, valuable things. So that's what this is. Memory Ayla, are you sapiosexual? What does that even mean? What is going on in my chat? Listen, guys, I'm spitting game out here. We talk about some sapiosexual. I never even heard that before. You guys heard that before? No offense to any sapiosexuals, but I just don't know what that means, right? Aren't we all Homo sapiens? But yeah, guys, that's what got me started on the journey, just looking at nature. I went on that whole tangent because somebody said something about mushrooms in the chat. Because, man, I enjoy growing mushrooms. I know everybody, when you say that, you think I'm growing magic mushrooms. I know how to do those too. Not saying I did. I'm just saying it's all the same thing. When you grow the mushrooms from the spores on the agar dish, the petri dish, you can pretty much grow every mushroom you want. I used to have my mushrooms fruiting on the petri dish. Fruiting too dang early. I don't know what that means, but whatever. But anyways, guys, that's pretty much it. Look, I'm trying to get this. This is the issue with the pipe dope. It doesn't come off your freaking hands. Like, dang, the baby wipes ain't doing it, guys. The baby wipes ain't getting it off. Look, hey, I gotta tell you guys, honestly, this is gonna sound, so counterintuitive, because like blue collar work is so like rough, and I guess you could say masculine. But if you want, they have all those work wipes. But guys, I just use baby wipes. Why? Because those work wipes, some of them put a bunch of chemicals in there, and then you're like, if you wipe your face with those, you're putting all those chemicals on your face. But baby wipes, you can get, some of them do have chemicals, but like these just have water. This is made of water. You gotta check the ingredients, of course, but I mean, they do the job for the most part. Right now, I don't know about it, Well, whatever, that's just a little tip. Because they're cheaper. Baby wipes are way cheaper than those work wipes. I have some of them work wipes because I got some. It was like $20 for 100 wipes. I can pay $20 and get 1,000 baby wipes. And I know you're probably like, this dude sounds a lot like Diddy. Talk about using baby products. I'm just saying, it's a little life hack, okay? Oh, and guess what I do with these when I'm done? This is my lab waste. I throw it in my reactor. See, that's the cool thing, guys, about what I do. All my lab waste, I keep the buckets full of my lab waste. Gloves. If I have an oil spill, like on my lab table, I soak up the oil with rags. It all goes in the machine. It's a closed cycle. That's the whole point of this project. Closed cycle, just like nature. In nature, I eat a strawberry. There's a stem left. Throw it in the compost pile. It becomes food for the next plant growing in there. And, that's the whole idea of this project. To close the cycle. So anyway, let me go ahead and install my manifold back in here, because I got pipe dope on everything. The machine has been running for 2 hours. 2 hours, temperatures are looking good. So we should be getting a decent amount of oils coming over now. But the front of the machine is a little bit cold. And why? I turned off the front magnetron when I was doing my maintenance up in the front. So there's no risk of me electrocuting myself. You said, I'm a student in automotive engineering, and last week in my fuel and lube class, the professor said, wait, let me see that. The professor said, pyrolysis, and I immediately thought of you. Then the friend finished and had his license. That's awesome, man. Hey. I'm just glad that I can, you know, inspire people. And, you know, it's truly a blessing to be in the position I'm in. You know, I've been working hard for years and years. There's a lot of hard work that nobody sees and nobody will ever see and nobody will ever know except for me. Things like this. I do crap like this. You know, off live stream, off video. I just happened to be live when this happened. But there's little things like this. And so I'm just happy to be able to help. You said longest scam ever? Hey, last time I checked, if you're running a scam, you gotta be selling something. I'm not selling anything. All I'm doing here is research and development that's crowdfunded. I don't force anybody to donate. I don't make anybody buy anything. Look, I did it for years before I even asked for a single donation. But, you know, at some point in time, you know, things get expensive. And, you know, if people want to help out, they sure as hell can. So that's all I'm saying. Just the definition of a scam, you have to be selling something and, you know, people buy it and it's not what they want. Or not what they were expecting, but I'm not selling anything. And that's why I'm still going, right? All right, so this should be good now. Let's go ahead and install my manifold back. And then I gotta check some things with the reactor. We gotta turn these sensors back on and stuff. And the fifth magnetron. Right now, guys, we only have 3 magnetrons on. We gotta turn on 5. Hey guys, what's the best way to do this? So right now I'm trying to disconnect this quick connect fitting and you know, it's under pressure, so it's kind of stuck. And I'm trying not to get smacked in the face or something. So I was about to take these and go like pry it off, but I don't know how safe that is. Of course, unfortunately, some of this natural gas is going to spill out. Try to do as little as possible. I guess I'll put this on. But I'm trying to figure out, is this the best way to do it? Because I need to install my manifold again, but unfortunately, because I had to uninstall the manifold, the whole point of the manifold is that I could, you know, transfer the natural gas to different tanks without having to do this, without having to take the quick connect off. But now I have to, and now it's under like 200 psi of pressure. So I think this might be the only way to do it, right? Take these, pull it off with this on, right? You said you're so inspirational. Thank you. No joke. Thank you, Ultra Instinct. You said, I love watching your stuff. Great info and something I wanted to do. Thank you, Sean. You said, what is his day job? This is my job. You said, free knowledge, and this man is full of it. Can never be a scam. You're only scamming yourself by not listening and hearing. K Pick says. Okay. You said, are you going to make a spark hitting the metal with metal? No. I don't think I'd make a spark. But there's not that much natural gas in here to where, you know, it would be a cloud of it to be able to blow up. Ralph Roper on Facebook, you said, don't ever give up. Thank you, man. It's a lot of sense what you're saying and doing. Release valve into a catch tank. Well, that's the issue. I had a release valve on my manifold, but I don't have a release valve. Let me see. Oh, I think I do something. I do on my filter dryer system. So we're gonna have to just do this relief valve here. All right, I'll be right back, guys. You're gonna hear some pressure leaving, but I'll be okay. Oh shit. That was supposed to look cool, but I'll be right back. Or I got one little small leak. I just gotta turn it a little bit, and then I'll be done. All right, we're good. Now, with that being said, where are we at? We're at 2 hours and 30 minutes into the run. Let me turn the blades on and turn this light off. Oh, somebody sent $20 on YouTube. Let's see. While I was gone. C and Woke, thank you for the $20 on YouTube. We got the blades spinning. Let me check the oil flow. And if it's cool, I will go ahead and show you guys the oil flow too. It may not be much to see though. Sometimes you can't see it, but there's always oils flowing. I guess I'll show you guys. It's a pretty consistent oil flow. Now here's the thing. As I broke down earlier, how my condensation system works, a lot of oils end up condensing inside of the keg, and we just can't see them condensing inside of it, right? So you only can see a portion of how many oils are actually forming. So we'll break it down. Let's do YouTube first. So you can see there's a consistent flow of oil now coming. And if you look in this big condenser sight glass here, you can see that there's obviously some oils that are slowly falling. Sometimes some big drips will just come falling down. Most of the time you really cannot see the oils when they fall from here anyway, because it's so cloudy. And let's see your Instagram. So this is the sight glass, and you can see from the side, there's some driplets here, but especially if you look under here, look at the oil. It's a consistent flow coming through the whole time now. And there's droplets all over this big condenser glass here. So we obviously have a lot of oil production being, oh, the YouTube went out. Oh, the YouTube went out. There is no more water inside of the machine at all, because the machine has far exceeded the boiling point of water. In fact, the hottest part of the machine, the middle of it, is 200 degrees centigrade, and the front of the machine is 100 degrees centigrade. And we just turned on the 5th magnetron, so we're heating it up again. Now there is an issue. So you're still in solar? Yes, so guys, one of my goals for next year, for 2025, and I want to do this early in 2025, is actually to get this machine operating completely off of solar, to get a continuous operation. That would be way more efficient, and then to get it operating off of solar. Because I have not done a power analysis run yet. However, I do measure every run, and I have yet to do a run that has exceeded 30 kilowatt hours of electricity. And that lets me know that this can 100% run off of solar, because 30 kilowatts, you can charge a solar battery pack in a day or less. 30 kilowatt hours of electricity. Homes do it all the time. So this machine can definitely run off of solar. And then guess what, guys? When we do that, there will be no more talk about energy efficiency, this, efficiency, that, because now the machine has zero energy cost. Zero. And now it's 100% profit for all of the fuels being created. 100% profit. Now, so right now, the current electrical consumption of this is pretty much the equivalent to running a big air conditioner all day. You know, the average run is about 25 kilowatt hours. Not a crazy amount of electricity, right? Not like a huge industrial machine, but it, you know, it adds up. But at the same time, since it's not a crazy amount, things like solar can 100% be done on this machine. We said, what would it cost to build a bigger machine that can give you a 90% output? Well, here's the thing. This machine could give me a 90% output. We do not know until I get my next plastic shredder and load in 30 to 50 pounds of plastic at one time in this machine. Especially with the new blades I put in here. Those new blades have so much more space. I could fit so much more plastic in here. So once I got my next plastic shredder, guys, we're gonna do a humongous run. The biggest run we've ever done. I want to do between 30 and 50 pounds of plastic, and then by that time, our condenser system will be, good. And I want to see, just how much freaking oil can we make? How efficient can we make it? And then I want to, after that, do a run that's I want to make the machine continuous. So when the machine is hot, we can load in plastic while it's already hot instead of having to wait until it cools down. We'll just load in plastic just to heat it up again. That's a waste of energy. Imagine turning off your oven that after it preheated every time you want to put a new pizza in the oven. No, you keep the oven hot and you just keep loading in new pizzas. So by nature, the only way to make something truly efficient is to do it like that. But imagine if we could have this machine running off of solar and be continuous. This is just my theory. But if we can make the machine run when it's running continuously, I think that we could truly get the generator to run off of the natural gas, because there'd just be a consistent flow coming out all the time. This is my theory. We'll see. That's the idea. So we're going to definitely we're going to do solar 2025 for sure. It's going to cost, I think it's going to cost like between 20 and 30K to get the solar built, right? But I got a guy, his name is Joe Fells. You guys on Instagram might know him, but he reached out to me actually back in like June or something. He does solar. He installs it. He's like a solar pro, and he's actually in Georgia too. And we've been talking, and he's gonna help me install it. We just got to get the money to get it, because it's it's expensive. Like I said, my grant payment is not just $100,000 all at once. It's $100,000 broken up over 2 years. So I literally have to wait for half a year to save up 20K to get the solar. Or maybe we could do some type of GoFundMe, some type of crowd funds, and we can get the solar in like a month or something. Because I was talking to him about the energy consumption, and he's like, yeah, we could get like 15, I forgot what size panels. But he said we could get like 15 panels, get that thing running off of solar. Of course it's based on where you are, sunlight hours, all that. I'm in Alabama. We don't get that many sunlight hours here in the wintertime, but still, I'm just saying, imagine when this thing runs off of solar. It's going to be amazing. And I want that to actually be a selling point for this machine when we start to, manufacture these machines. Do you have a sight glass on the cool end of the giant shotgun condenser? Would be interesting to see if that opaque vapor is able to condense in that short path. I do not have a sight glass above it. I only have a sight glass below it, because I'm only trying to see the oils falling back down. I used to have a sight glass above this, but I'll tell you now, I'm not able to condense all my oils with this. This big condenser still doesn't do it, guys. So my friends at BVV, Best Value Vacs, if you're an extractor, you probably know who they are. They got amazing quality stuff. This is from them. They gave this to me on the house. And they're also giving me a 40-foot warped coil that the moonshiners use. It's a jacketed wart column, 40 foot, a lot of surface area. And I hope that will be able to capture all of my oils. You said it has the initial cost divided by the output product over its life, not zero cost. Yes, Timothy, but it has zero electrical consumption cost per run. So, with that being said, of course, it's an investment, right? As with any investment, it takes time to get your return. But let's say we get these machines deployed in a country in Africa, for example. Tons of sunlight, tons of plastic, but shortages of oil. Well, obviously the price of oil is going to be pretty conducive of the market where there's shortages of oil, shortages of electricity. But there's so much sunlight, we got tons of production. It's going to be pretty easy to break even because the solar is not even that expensive. The machine itself parts to build. You know, this machine is about 20, just raw, no labor. This machine parts was about 20K. The solar is about 20K. So, you know, do the math. If you include labor and shipping, you could get a machine for 100K or less. And, you know, this machine right here, once it operates continuously, it'll be able to take, you know, 100 pounds or more of plastic a day. What is that, like 40 kg? 40 kilos, 34 kilos or so. A lot of plastic a day. And, you know, if you take in it, let's say you take 100 pounds of plastic, well, we want to make at least like 15 to 20 gallons a day, minimum. And if you can do that with one run, make 15, 20 gallons, well, it's pretty simple math. 15 to 20 gallons, the amount of kilowatt hours, or the amount of energy, the amount of megajoules within 15 to 20 gallons of oil, it's going to be quite a bit. If we can get this machine completely run off of solar, well, now you're taking sunlight, and turning it into the best battery on Earth, which is liquid fuels. You can't beat that, you know? You cannot beat that, because lithium-ion batteries, their energy density is nothing compared to diesel, compared to gasoline, compared to any type of liquid oil. And you're able to take sunlight and turn it into that while getting rid of plastic waste. It's a done deal. So that's why I decided solar is definitely the move. And of course, it's dependent on location. Some locations might have an electrical abundance. They might be near a nuclear plant. They might be near a dam, a hydroelectric dam. Maybe we're in Canada, you know, near one of the Great Lakes or something. There's a dam nearby. They have an electric abundance. If you have an electric abundance, or maybe a big solar farm, wind farm already, sometimes they have so much electricity it just goes to waste. You might as well use it to run one of these machines, and then you can also be creating fuels on the back end. So, you know, 2 in 1. Yeah, we definitely gonna make it happen, memory for sure. 2025, guys, 2025. And 2025 is gonna be the year when these machines start to, you know, this machine will no longer be a prototype, guys. Obviously, the machine's not done. I am always talking about the upgrades, you know, getting this new coil, making it continuous. But it's going to be done next year before the summer, I promise. All I have to do is make it continuous and finish the condenser system to make sure we capture all the oils. Obviously, if I'm selling this machine to anybody, it's unacceptable to have moisture inside of the tanks, the recovery tank. That's a threat. That's a danger. So we have to get the condenser system 100% working the best we can. You said, I love your passion. Keep going. Thank you, D-Man Trust on the Instagram. You said Florida. Have you considered mixing oil with the plastics to enhance the microwave absorbing? Yes, guys. In fact, in my days in YouTube with Mark IV, this is the Mark 4.5, with Mark IV, I used to mix motor oil with the plastic. And when you mix motor oil with plastic, and you put it in this machine, your oil yield shoots up like crazy. You go from like making a gallon per 5 pounds of plastic, or what is that? A gallon per 10 pounds of plastic, to 2 gallons per 10 pounds of plastic. The oil yield doubles. The issue with motor oil is it's such a product of variance, because I mean there's so many different types of motor oils. There's synthetic, there's non-synthetic, there's like the 5W30, 10W30, and then the engine that the motor oil's in, what about the oil has been in the engine where it's burning the oil? You know, the composition changes. And then you have the issue with, you know, every car is different. So when you add the motor oil, you know, it does amazing stuff for the oil yields. But the oil starts to become very hard to know what it is. If I put HDPE in this machine, and only HDPE like I did, we get this. Crude HDPE oil. And this crude HDPE oil, I'm going to get this analyzed. I'm going to refine this and get the refined parts analyzed too. And then we're going to know what always comes out of HDPE from this machine. If I put motor oil in here though, even if I get the motor oil run analyzed, I could do a motor oil run in a few months and it'll be completely different, because that motor oil that I did one time might have been synthetic motor oil. The next run is non-synthetic, right? That's the issue with motor oil. Thank you for the $10 super chat, Ezra, on the YouTube. Daniel Schmidt is offering to donate 15 solar panels. Oh, shoot. Daniel Schmidt. Where's Daniel Schmidt? Is he on YouTube? Daniel Schmidt. Listen, Daniel Schmidt, I'm sorry I didn't read your comment. Are you still in here? You could donate 15 solar panels. That'd be, hey, that'd be crazy. That'd be crazy. Listen, sorry. So, you know, there's so many chats going on, but you gotta send me an email, okay? Because YouTube does not have a DM feature or a PM feature, so you have to send me an email. business@naturejab.com. Somebody type that in the chat, please. business@naturejab.com. Send me an email. We'll get on a call. We'll get some things rolling. Because if we can get the solar panels, then all I gotta worry about is the batteries, the solar controllers, and the inverters. Which will still be expensive, but that'd be amazing though. This is a micro. So guys, you know, some people might, you know, I'm doing pyrolysis. I'm doing pyrolysis, and pyrolysis is a very known process. It's been known forever. And some people are like, okay, you're doing pyrolysis, so you're not doing anything new. You're not innovating in any way. And I never said I invented pyrolysis, but I do say I'm an innovator. I'm doing microwave pyrolysis. Now, microwave pyrolysis has been seen before. However, trust me, and I would know because I had to do so much research to build this machine. You cannot find another microwave pyrolysis reactor like this. That's at this scale, where it's not a humongous machine and not a super tiny lab machine. This is the scale the world needs. Why does the world need this scale? Because this scale can literally run off of any house's sockets. But it also can process a good amount of plastic. And it also is electricity based, so it can run off of solar, wind, nuclear. But Daniel Schmidt, if you're still in here, please send the email. I don't know if he's still in here. I haven't seen him talk. So my bad on that. But we're gonna get solar either way, guys. We'll need about 15 panels. And guys, to be honest, the amount of panels to start isn't as important. Because even if I have 5 panels, the machine can still run off of solar. It might just take a day or 2 to charge the batteries to be able to do a run. But I'd love to be able to charge the whole machine. Or you know what? It'll be amazing to be able to do it continuously. That's the best way. You said you use more energy than you put out. I do, and I never said I didn't. But I'm saying that if we utilize solar, then we don't have to worry about that. For one, and then for two, when the machine is operating continuously with tons of shredded plastic, that margin becomes smaller and smaller by nature. Of the energy input to output, it becomes smaller and smaller because we're not creating energy. We're not breaking the law of thermodynamics. We're adding energy into the machine via plastic, because plastic is full of energy. Yeah, guys, I think Dan is gone. I missed that opportunity by not looking at the YouTube chat. But look, I truly believe opportunities, you know, if it's meant for you, you're gonna get it. You know, if you believe you deserve it, the universe will serve it. So we're gonna get this solar going crazy. Let me move over to one of my other natural gas tanks. I think this tank is near the 300 PSI range. You said I have 28 panels on my house and I never use all the power from them. Exactly. That's the point. There's always excess electricity from these systems. Why not use it to turn waste into fuel, right? Because it's not like you're just losing the energy. You're converting the energy to a different form. And it's actually one of the best forms of energy because batteries are not that energy dense. Gasoline, diesel is. Let's go and switch over to this natural gas tank. Guys, you know what I didn't even think about? Since I have that manifold, I literally can just open 2 or 3 natural gas tanks at once and just have them fill up all together. Dan is back? Where is he? Dan! Where's that? Daniel Schmidt. There you are. You said, my reception cut out. I've been following Naturejab for almost a year, and I'm so excited following his progress. I definitely want to help out in any way I can. Daniel Schmidt, I'm glad that you're back. Everybody's like, Dan is back. Listen, Dan. Somebody type my email in the chat. business@naturejab.com. Dan, you have to send me an email, okay? YouTube doesn't have a DMS system. I would message you. Okay, I would, because I'm not trying to be like some type of power fix. Oh, you have to send me an email. No, but we don't have a DM feature in YouTube. So you have to send me an email, business@naturejab.com. Somebody type that. And then we'll get on a call and all that, and we'll get the solar stuff talked about. You said, what pulls the vacuum? I'm currently using a 4-cylinder explosion-proof recovery pump from BBB. Hey, hello from Chicago, Ricky. Much love to Chicago. Could you imagine hanging one of these connected to every windmill? Exactly. It's a no-brainer to me. It's a no-brainer. If you're making excess electricity, you might as well deal with your waste at the same time. Because, guys, I keep telling you this is not a power plant. I keep telling you the point of this is not to make the fuels. The point of this is we're taking plastic that's out in the environment, releasing microplastics that get in your balls. So when I go put my balls in your mouth because you're not paying attention to class, you get microplastics in your mouth and my balls in your mouth, right? I tell you guys this stuff, and then not only that, but then they're emitting methane and ethylene in the environment 40 times and 25 times worse than CO2. They're in the landfills, they're in the ocean, they're in the fish, they're in Antarctica, in the penguins, they're in everything. And we're taking that plastic that would have just kept going everywhere and polluting everything, and we're turning it into a controlled substance that we can then either burn or bury or something, but it takes up way less space than plastic. It doesn't keep breaking down into microplastics, and we have complete control over the machine and where the things go. That's the whole point of the machine. We already learned in science, we already learned that just putting plastic in a landfill is not helping. It keeps breaking down into microplastics. It ends up in the leachate water. We have to turn it to something other than plastic. We cannot keep turning bottles into bottles. We cannot keep turning, plastic bottles into rugs and just make them smaller and smaller microplastics. Most recycling plants, when they clean the plastic shreds, they do it with water. That water gets polluted with microplastics, which they end up putting back out into the rivers, the oceans. So we have to turn it into a product that's no longer plastic, and that's the point of this machine. It's not about the fuel. The fuel is just a byproduct. I don't care if this machine just turned the plastic to dirt. I would still do it. Because microplastics cannot chemically exist in my fuels, in my natural gas. The only place where microplastics can physically be in this machine is in the carbon products. But guess what? The carbon products can just keep recycling through the machine forever because carbon absorbs microbes the best. So, you can either, let's say we don't get a machine that can 100% get all the microplastics out of the carbon. Just keep putting them back in the machine. Just keep putting them back in. The point is, it's not continuing to just break down, pollute microplastics, ethylene, methane. We're controlling it, guys. That's the point. But yes, Daniel Schmidt, please send me the email, man. I look forward to it. And truly, thank you so much. And thank you, what was his name? What was his name? Where'd he go? Ezra. Thank you for the $10 on the YouTube super chat, reminding me that Daniel Schmidt wanted to offer the 15 solar panels. So thank you all guys so much. Because I'm very excited. Because look, guys, I got this land out here in Alabama. I got plenty of space for solar panels. Plenty of space. I mean, we could put them on top of the carport. But, I also got tons of just land for them. So that's going to be no issue. What's up, Zai, myself? I haven't seen you in a long time, man. You said I haven't been in the last live streams, mainly because a lot of the live streams have been outside of my time zone, but also due to being busy. It was always great to be busy. It's always great to be busy. Look, we were just talking about that, right? Because somebody was asking me about, should I block people that, are haters? First of all, I don't think the term hater is even, I think that, so at some point, maybe somebody is a hater, but most of the time, you just gotta look at it as a critic, right? Because it's all about perspective. But anyways, I was just basically saying that somebody can sit there all day. Where were their hearts? What was that crap? You guys on Instagram saw that? There were hearts that came out of me. What is this? Yo, what is this? Anyways, hey Yuki. Hey, they call me Yuki on YouTube. Good to see you again. Guys, I was saying, I don't believe in censorship of any way. And if somebody decides to spend all of their time commenting, I'm like, okay, you're busy commenting, I'm busy building the machine. You stay busy, you know? Because look, at the end of the day, oh, you'll be able to show for yourself as a whole bunch of comments. Well, I got all this to show for myself. And right now, there is nobody else in the entire world that has a setup like this. There's other setups, but it's nobody else with a setup like this. I keep working, man. I keep working. You never catch me in somebody's comments all day. I got too much work to do. Right? It's all about perspective, though. So no, I never block somebody. So I'm glad to hear you've been busy as I myself. It's always great to be busy. You know, and that's the thing. It could be disadvantageous to always be busy. But you know, they say an idle mind. An idle mind is like a mind that creates problems. You know, a mind of depravity. You know, when you're bored, you start to do things outside of morality. But when you're busy, you know, we're meant to be busy. We're humans. You know, we're human beings. You gotta be. If you're just idle all day, you're not being, you're not doing, you're not living. So you're gonna start to go to negativity. You're gonna start to live in negativity. You live in stagnation. It's like a pond, right? You look at a pond versus running water. I can drink a running water stream, but I cannot drink pond water. It's full of, you know, things that grow in such an environment that I could not just drink out of unless you're tuned for that. But you take flowing water, you're always moving. You know, you're always moving. The Fibonacci sequence, the spirals of life force within the flowing water. It's a different story, right? But that's too deep of a path. I'm not gonna go down that path. But anyways, let me check something on the machine real quick. Yeah, we're filling these tanks up, guys. We're running these tanks up. We got a few tanks over 200 psi. And in my latest video, I saw some of you guys were telling me that I cannot measure my tanks through psi, and that I have to measure them through weight. And I want to thank you guys, everybody that said that. You know, this is what I meant. In fact, guys, I recently had an article come out on me, an interview on Canvas Rebel. And they were just asking me things like, you know, about my story. And one of the things I said was, you know, most companies that do pyrolysis like this, they stay closed-lipped. They don't share it with anybody until it's done. And I'm doing the opposite. You know, they wait until their patents are cleared, they wait until they do it, they wait until they're in the market, then they tell everybody. Everybody in the whole entire world deserves to know that something can be done about plastic waste. Everybody in the whole entire world deserves to know that I'm doing something about plastic waste and that pyrolysis exists. Because pyrolysis is not even a well-known thing. I don't care if it's good or not. It's about people should know that it exists. People should know that somebody, and there are companies that are trying to do something. Because when I learned that they do not recycle plastic and they put it in the ocean, when you pay for recycling, I lost hope in all of humanity. I saw the videos of the turtle with the straw in its nose. I lost hope. Because I'm like, if they're lying about recycling, the plastic is already the size of continents. And it's already destroying. This was before the microplastic stuff came out. And I knew that stuff was going to happen. Look, there's no way you're going to have just plastic ruin. And that's just the end of it. Of course it's going to break down to microplastics and get worse. And I'm just saying, like, I knew that it was just going to get worse and worse. I'm like, humanity's over. But because there was nobody offering the solutions. All they said was, problem, ocean plastics, turtles, microplastics. They're not recycling. We're being lied to. Scam. I'm like, what's the solution? So I lost hope because pyrolysis is not mainstream. Because people that do it are staying closed-lipped. I think that's wrong. I think that people deserve to know and to be a part of the solution. So anyways, on that article, I wrote about how in sharing it online, it was actually a huge advantage to me, especially being a solo person doing this. Because a solo person can only know so much. And, you know, through all these years of doing this, you guys have helped me so much and pushed me so much and helped me learn so much. You know, this machine is a culmination of all of our ideas, guys, from everything, from the electrical box you see behind me, to the machine, to the condenser, to everything, to the auger blades. We have come up with this, guys. We have grinded. I'm just the vessel to put it together. But I literally, you know, we put this together, you know. So I had to thank all of you, and I wrote that in the article. So like when it came to you guys telling me about the natural gas, I didn't even know. I thought you could measure through PSI. I didn't know. But some of you guys might be HVAC technicians, or you might be natural gas plant technicians, and you know this type of stuff. I didn't know. So I get to have the benefits of the collective minds of the entire world by not being selfish and just hiding this from everybody. Because my first year of working on this stuff, I did hide it. Not on purpose, but because I really don't like filming myself. I'll be honest. It pisses me off. Every time I gotta film a video, I'm so annoyed because I just want to do what I want to do. I'm a doer, okay? And I gotta sit here and set up a camera, get angles right, then I gotta edit it and put it together, and then uploading it is so annoying because I upload on like 6 different platforms. It takes 5 minutes every time. It's annoying. It literally takes an hour to upload. But I do it because people deserve to know, and I truly believe that. Because I lost hope for a second, and then I gained hope again, knowing that I can be the change I want to see. And so I just want people to know that, you know, the same story, that you could be the change you want to see in anything you want to do. And also, when it comes to plastic waste in particular, don't lose hope, because if nobody else is doing it, if no other company's doing it, it's most certainly me. Because I told you guys I had the goal of getting this plastic waste to be a commodity, and to no longer be just something that's just put in the ocean and everywhere. And for as long as I live, I'm gonna keep working on that until it's done. You know, I'm just gonna keep doing it. I really don't care. You know, it's just gonna keep happening. Let's see. Oh, this is really cool. You guys won't be able to hear this, but I can actually hear when I put my head next to the keg, I can hear oils dripping down. So there's oils dripping from all over the place. In fact, let me see if we got oils, visible oils coming out of this sight glass on the 8-inch condenser. But yeah, guys, I gotta say thank you to all of you, because seriously, guys, you know, I started my journey on YouTube, and I went over to TikTok, and I went over to Instagram, and wherever I've been, you guys always been so helpful. You guys always been so helpful. You guys always help me grow and let me know how I could do things better. So I appreciate you guys. So I still cannot see vapors coming out or falling down, but I can hear them. And you won't be able to hear it, unfortunately. It's pretty quiet. Of course, there's the oils that are falling down from this main line here, because this is very hot now. But of course, there's also oils that are, you know, trying to travel up, and then they're reacting with the cold temperatures and falling back down. And also, you guys will see the run I did today. What I did is I put in, so, you know, I got this carport. I built this carport, and you see I have gravel on the grounds. The gravel I got delivered by loads. It came in those big plastic bags. I put those bags in the machine. I have no waste, guys, out here. I have no waste. I put all my lab waste. I process it all. So you said, burn the plastic, release the benzene. Well, listen here, Alan Mofo. I am in the process of getting my stuff analyzed. So we will indeed see, not only what or if there is benzene, but what type of plastics have the most benzene in them. And then from there, we can go on to the solutions. You said, bro, I've watched your vids for a long time and never seen you live. That's what's up, colon, hold on. I thought it was aloha, colon, aloha, but that's what's up, man. I'm glad to catch you in the Facebook Live, man. How many sections you gotta monitor? I have the temperatures, I have the pressure, and I have the time. That's all I monitor. We're at 2 hours, 56 minutes. I usually average everyone being 3 hours. We're gonna turn off the fourth magnetron. We only have 3 magnetrons on. Let's see how many kilowatt hours you've consumed so far. So we have consumed 23 kilowatt hours so far. I personally like to keep my runs 25 kilowatt hours or less. But the issue is, guys, no matter how much plastic you put in the machine, it usually will always be the same amount of energy consumption for the most part. So even if I put in a small amount, it's still 25 kilowatt hours because the temperatures have to reach a certain level for the plastic to completely turn into all carbon. And the temperature is only reached after about 3 to 3.5 hours, which ends up being 25 kilowatt hours, depending on how many magnetrons you have on. You said you got safety checks in place. How are you able to monitor this all by yourself? I'll show you. It's actually not that tough. Look. Pressure, temperatures, time, relays. Turn everything on and off. It's a pretty simple thing. Now, what I could do better is obviously have this stuff written down to be like, okay, 1 hour in, turn off magnetron. And then I need to label this stuff. I tried to label it. But every time I like restart the computer, it gets rid of it, so it's annoying. Let me show you guys on YouTube and Facebook my monitoring system. See YouTube, we got pressure. It's pulling a vacuum, that's why it's negative. I don't know why this pressure sensor doesn't have just inches of mercury, but whatever. We got pressure, we got the temperatures, got the time, and then we got the relays down there. So it's really not that tough. You know, sometimes people ask me like, you know, when these machines are sold, how many people does it take to operate it? And I'm like, 2 at most. Because I do it as one person. Pressure, time, temperature, and relays, guys, on Facebook. It takes 2 people at most. You know, you gotta have 2 people because one person, they can have a bad day. You know, they're not supposed to, but they could come in drunk or high. You gotta have somebody, a second set of eyes. But when this machine is operating continuously, or even if it's operating just as a batch, once you load the plastic in the machine, there's really not much else to do. You know, look, I've been talking to you guys. I know I had to repair a little leak. You just look out for little things like that, but you're just standing here waiting, and then every 15, 20 minutes, you just turn the blades for about 30 seconds to a minute so the plastic moves forward. That's it. That's it. That's all there is to the machine. It's actually a simple operation. And things don't really get hard or dangerous until you're distilling. When you're distilling and refining, it gets very dangerous very quickly because that's basically the equivalent of boiling gasoline on your stove. We all know, it doesn't take a genius to know that's not a good idea, right? What the heck? Sorry, I don't know what's going on, guys, on Facebook. Go ahead, zooming into my face. Joshua Hayes, thank you for the 99 stars on Facebook. Thank you so much, man. I appreciate your support, man. So you're a very smart young man. Keep up the good work. Thank you so much, Kevin Kirby, on the Facebook. Love your method, bro. Keep at it. Yes, the computer has helped so much. The computer, to have things like pressure just on the same big screen, has helped so much, guys. Because before, I had to use this thing right here. A manometer. And not only did the manometer call Diddy to my location, but, you know, this is a small screen. Look at the numbers. You can barely even see the numbers. I gotta freaking check this every second. And, you know, when there's a maybe, you know, pressure is dropping or rising quickly, you don't have time to be running up on the machine to check this, right? So now we have it on the big screen, and it's so much more safe to see these things. And I would love to have the computer system in a completely, like, its own section away from the carport. I'd love to have that. But right now, you know, we got to work with what we got. You know, I went over budget just building this carport. Alan said someone called the EPA. Well, Alan, riddle me this. You clearly are concerned about the environment because you want somebody to call the EPA. You're saying I'm doing all this toxic stuff. So if you care about the environment, why aren't you calling the EPA on Shell, Chevron, Mobil One, the plastic or the plastic producers in Texas that are producing tons of microplastic pellets and putting it all out in the little bodies of water, the marshes and the rivers of Texas, ends up in the ocean? Why aren't you calling the EPA on any of them? Why are you even in my live stream? There's people doing, look, maybe if I'm doing the worst, The worst pollution I could ever do is nothing compared to these people spilling the stuff in the oil, in the oceans, the crude oil, the ocean spills, the microplastic spills that are done on purpose. But you're in here. So I don't think you actually care about the environment. I think you're just in here to just chat shit, honestly, because it just doesn't make logical sense. If you care so much about the environment, the worst I could do is pollute a 20 by 20 foot area. These people are polluting your drinking water, your air that you breathe. You're not, my air over here can't even get to you. You said check out Chemical Distractions. I talked with Chemical Distractions. Me and him had 2 live streams together. And guess what? Me and him, we talked, we had a very cordial conversation, and we came to the conclusion that, yes, indeed, the fuel that I make has carcinogenic properties, but so does every fuel on Earth. They're meant for engines to drink, not us. And on top of that, there are many solutions that we use in current modern refineries to deal with problems like benzene. In fact, plastic is made of benzene. Benzene is one of the most valuable products, actually. Plastic is made of it. Tons of stuff. Makeup is made with, some makeup is made with benzene. Some deodorant is made with, I'm not saying that's right, but I'm just saying it's a very, very valuable chemical. But they also can be removed through many methods like extractive distillation, through catalytic distillation. That's just a start. In fact, in some countries they call gasoline benzene. In America, we only allow less than 1% of benzene in our gasoline, but there's still benzene in all gasoline. Right? For example. But that's a different story we'll go down. In fact, if you guys want more details on that, you can go on my YouTube channel. I have a video called A Chat with My Critic, Chemical Distractions. In that video, I basically just break down all this stuff. Because basically, right after my explosion, this guy named Chemical Distractions, he made a video like critiquing my work, saying like, just dangers of it. And I don't have a problem with critique at all. I have no problems with critiques. That's how you grow. But him and I, we had a mutual, respectful conversation. I shared my perspective, he shared his, and that was all it was. And you can check out that on YouTube to go over like the solutions I offered and all those type of things. He said, I like your stuff, but I don't understand it all, and I'm okay with that. I like agriculture. That's where I exceed, and that's fine. I love listening, though, and how you get it done. Thank you so much, Yuki. I love agriculture, too. That's how I started in all this. So I'm glad to hear that you have a love for agriculture. It's truly beautiful, That's the roots of all civilization. We can try to talk about the Industrial Revolution or whatever, creating fire. But, guys, without agriculture, you ain't going to be nowhere. So the fact that we live in a time nowadays where our food is deplenished of all nutrition, pretty much, because it's grown in ground that has no life in it anymore because of all the tilling and all the pesticide use, even the organic pesticides, guys. Got to do something about that. And honestly, guys, before I was starting to do this, I was going to be a farmer. I was going to be a true organic, sustainable permaculturalist farmer. And one day I'll go back to that, Because look, guys, when you have a garden and you grow your garden in compost, you put mulch over your garden, wood chips, straw, grass clippings, whatever, and you get a tomato from that garden. That single tomato has more nutrition than probably almost anything in the supermarket. Okay? The most nutritious thing in the supermarket, because the ground that they grow the stuff in, our food, is depleted, guys, because we've been growing and tilling the same ground since the start of the big ag stuff in America, guys. Or this is all around the world, for that matter, for the most part. America's the worst country for this, for food, honestly. Every country knows that, right? Every country knows America's the worst with food, with the chemicals that we put in our food that we are allowed. No, how are there so many chemicals that are banned in other nations, but they're allowed in American food? Some nonsense. So how much is Diddy paying you for the oil? Me and Diddy, we're striking a deal because I'm trying to produce baby oil for him. You see, so I have this right here. HDPE, the crude oil of HDPE, and we're gonna refine this and get some baby oil out. Diddy told me that in jail he's having a really rough time. The other prisoners in there, they didn't take so kindly to him coming in there, and they're really going rough on Diddy, and he just needs some baby oil to help smooth things out. I told him I'll make it for him, for a few G's. So, he's paying me well. This is for his comfort. This is for his comfort in prison. So, I'll be shipping it over to New York. What island is he in? Staten Island or something? Joshua, thank you for the 150 stars on Facebook again, man. I appreciate you. Always. I wonder at what point could you make a profit from this? As soon as this run off of solar panels, we can make profit. But I can't sell the fuels, guys. I can't sell the fuels because it's too many regulations. So I'm not gonna ever make a profit from this machine. But I will actually, the profit I will be making will be from when the machines start to be manufactured and sold to governing bodies of different states, nations, countries. Because once I finish this machine, I already got the connections. They're waiting. They're just telling me, listen, we just want to know, what the numbers are when it's continuous, operational, and we're ready to buy it. Let us know the price. Let us know the numbers on plastic consumption. How much plastic per gallon, how much can you do per day? We're gonna get it. So it's just a matter of finishing this machine at this point, which would definitely be, something that'll be done early 2025. You said, are you refining just like the oil companies do? It sounds like the process of refining the material. I'm just trying to understand. Yes. So when we get the oil right out of the machine, it's pretty much like this. And look at this. This is dark. This is a mix of oils, a homogeneous blend that's inseparable through any mechanical process. And this oil, some engines could burn it, but most engines cannot burn it cleanly at all, or burn it at all like a gasoline engine. This can be refined just like oil refiners refine crude oil. That's why I refer to this to plastic crude oil, because just like crude oil, you're not just going to take crude oil and put it in your engine. You're going to refine it into gasoline, diesel, jet fuel, then put those in your engine. So we're going to take this plastic crude oil, refine this into plastiline, plastic diesel, plastic kerosene. Then it can work in those respective engines. So I use fractional distillation. And that's the same technique that oil refineries use. And I'm currently working on a vacuum fractional distillation column, which is even better because it uses less energy. So that's what I do here. You said Diddy Oil, broski. Diddy Oil, that's the name. Maybe we can make some baby oil, maybe he'll be a happy man. Let me check my my natural gas tanks here, guys. I'll be right back. All right, so we got quite a bit of natural gas production, which is great. We got quite a bit. Thank you, Andrew Law, for the 99 stars on Facebook. This is great, guys. So I actually was doing this run today. I don't even care about the oil right now because I have plenty of oil. I have plenty of oil. I'm doing this run because I need natural gas to run my distiller tomorrow. So that way, I can refine more of my oils. Because I have about, I say 3 gallons of crude plastic oil from just mixed plastic. I want to refine it. And I need my natural gas to do so. That's how I run my distiller. Did you buy most of your machinery now, or you make them yourself? So the machine itself, I built. Every pipe and column you see, I bought. The keg, I bought and modified it. So I modify a lot of things. But the electronic cabinet, I built completely from scratch. The machine itself was built out of 3 100-pound propane tanks. The blades, 100% handmade. The blades inside the machine, the shaftless auger blades, 100% handmade, built by me. So I do a lot of modification. I'm a tinkerer, I'm a welder. So I pretty much can build everything. What company is going to make Mark V? That's a great question. I don't know yet. But Mark V, guys, is going to be the first ever professionally manufactured machine. That's why this machine is Mark 4.5, not Mark 5. Even though my last machine was Mark 4. Because I promised everybody, I gave my word, that Mark 5 is the first professionally manufactured machine. Not Mark 6. So even if I have to make a Mark 4.6 or Mark 4.75, some stupid crap, it doesn't matter. Because Mark 5 is going to be the first one. But this is the last prototype, guys. This was the last machine I'm building by hand, unless this machine blows up. Which it won't, because we operate under vacuum now. We're way safer. We're at 3 hours, 13 minutes, so we're going to run this machine until 3 hours and 30 minutes, 3.5 hours. I think that we are consuming, let's see our energy consumption right now. Yeah, we might be at Mark 4.9995, whatever, but I'm not doing, it's not going to be called Mark 5 until it's not handmade anymore. Mark 6 is going to be SpaceX property. Hey, Mark 6, I mean, would they even be called Marks anymore at that point? Like the Iron Man suits, at some point they're not even called Marks anymore, right? There is a disproportionate amount of benzene, xylene, VOC, PAHs, dioxins, and cancer-causing shit in it. Well, Peter, how do you know any better than me or anybody else? You have to wait on the analysis, Peter, because we got analysis coming on the way. But I cannot say what's in my fuel, and you cannot either, until Mass Spec Everything on Instagram gets my fuel and all the refined fuels and tells us. Nobody can say what's in my fuel until then. It's only a theory. It's a hypothesis. Now, I'm not saying that your hypothesis is not educated or that you're dead wrong, but I'm just saying you cannot make a claim of what it is until we do it. Right? So we'll see. Hey, what's up, Black Airbender? Good to see you, man. It's been a second. You said electroculture is making a comeback to farming. Not all hope is lost. And man, look, agriculture is everything. It's the roots, guys. And we got to get nutritious, real food. I mean, and you look at the food we have nowadays, and it's like a mutt. It's so much freaking hybridization. Sometimes it's just a completely, genetically modified. But then even the stuff that isn't has been hybridized so much, like wheat. Even if you get organic wheat, you're getting wheat that literally is a bastard. If those of you that don't know, look up einkorn wheat. Like you're spelling Einstein, but like spell Einstein with just the ein and then put corn on the end of it with a K. Einkorn wheat. The ancient grain. It makes amazing tasting bread. Amazing tasting pizzas. We don't use it, but it's amazing. It's ancient. And it's actually naturally almost gluten-free pretty much. We're dealing with all these gluten problems. And the first ever wheat that existed in the world was naturally gluten-free. You said, why do I call it diesel? I call it plastidiezel. But the primary reason I even use the word affiliated with diesel is because its properties are similar to that of diesel. So when I'm making a video, people can understand what it is, right? Other than that, it's just an oil. So if I say plastidiezel, people associate, plastidiezel. It comes from plastic. It has the properties of diesel. It works in a diesel engine. So that's why. Plastiline, gasoline. Plastikerosene, kerosene. Plastidiezel, diesel. It's pretty simple. So that way people can understand it. Because I tested the flash points of all of these fuels and they match up, and as well as the boiling points of all of these fuels in their respective name. That's why I figured out, okay, I'd make alternatives to gasoline, diesel, and jet fuel out of plastic, and we call them plastiline, plastidiezel, plastikerosene. We've been on this game, Peter. We've been on this game for years, man. Let's see. Is there any documentation of what went wrong? Yes, James, look on my YouTube channel. I've had a few explosions over the years. I've had a house fire, almost a house fire. I had one machine completely blow up. Mark III completely blew up. It was made out of a 55-gallon drum, way too thin of metal. That's why we moved this to propane tank metal, thick metal, no explosion from this. This machine has had a few depressurizations when the gaskets have blown before we moved it to running under vacuum. But ever since we moved to running it under vacuum, we have no more gasket leak problems because the suction stops pressure from building them up and making them pop, right? Because it's negative pressure. And then we've had this machine, not the machine itself, but the distiller to this machine. I meant to make it a vacuum distiller, didn't turn on the vacuum pump, the pressure built up, I went to collect my oils, blew up on me, burnt my legs. That was the most recent explosion. Not gonna happen again, because for one, I got PPE on now, and for two, I move much slower, I move much more patient, because I learned it's not worth getting blown up for just to make diesel or your plastic diesel, your plastiline, and your plastic kerosene quicker, right? Distillation is more dangerous than this machine. This machine, look at it, guys, it's closed. It's closed, guys. It's under negative pressure. But when I'm doing my distiller, I'm literally boiling gasoline, pretty much. That's the equivalent of literally boiling gasoline. Imagine taking your crock pot and boiling fuel inside of your house. It's crazy. It's dangerous as hell. Sometimes I have that distiller running and it looks so cool, like the reflux dripping down, and then I just think for a second, wait a minute. My face is right in front of literally boiling super flammable, super volatile fuels and vapors, and I'm just sitting here, and if I'm pretty much putting complete faith in the gaskets and the metal container, but if this fails at any moment and my face is right here, I'm Two-Face, baby. I'm Two-Face. You know, my legs, my feet are like half white, half black. Guys, that's the inner in me coming out, all right? That's the inner wigger in me coming out. And it'll be my face too if that explosion had went up to my face. But fortunately that didn't happen. I thank God every day that the jet of fire aimed down and not up. I remember when that explosion happened, people were like, well, at least you know you're making fuel. I said, hey, because that thing looked like SpaceX. Check out that video of the explosion I was in. That jet of fire looked like some damn SpaceX shit. At least I'm making fuel, right? That's the best way to know for a fact. Get burnt to hell. Hey, honestly, I didn't even know if I could burn, guys. I'm so black, I didn't even know I could burn. And then I figured out I got burnt so bad I turned white. What the hell? Who would have ever guessed that? I would have never guessed that in my life. I was like, you can't burn charcoal. Charcoal turned white. We turned the charcoal into snow. So some people wonder, like, when I'm running this machine, obviously, I have no respirator on. Some people are like, okay, you have all this PPE, why no respirator? Because there's no leaks. I keep telling people this. This machine, when it's running, has no emissions, no waste. Everything is captured and controlled. If there is a waste or an emission, it's up to me. I mean, as long as the machine doesn't have an explosion or anything that's not supposed to happen. But when it's running like this, everything is tightened down properly. The natural gas is going in the tanks. The oil is going to the keg. The carbon and the plastic is in the body of the machine. There's nothing. I'm out here breathing fresh air. There's nothing else. Yeah, I'm also in open air. Exactly. So if there is a depressurization, it's not an explosion risk. As the Lord knows, I learned that. I learned about that issue. What's up, Sacred Land Collective? Good to see you guys. Much love to you guys there in Washington. Hopefully we'll be able to set up a meeting soon. I saw your message come through. I've been on live stream for a few hours, but I saw your message come through about Wednesdays. So next Wednesday I'll be free. The day before Thanksgiving. Do you need more material? Where can I send it? Vincenzo asks. You can send it to my post office. My P.O. box. I have it in my link tree. Okay? But if you want to write it down, I can tell it to you right now. It's 8491 Hospital Drive, number 237. Those quick connects are not rated for those ratings. RJ, all my quick connects are rated for 300 PSI. I don't compress any of my tanks above 250 PSI. But I will say though, I do have quick connects on my vacuum side, the suck side, and I need to replace those with proper vacuum fitting. So that's the only thing I need to replace. That'll let me pull a deeper vacuum. But I don't go above 250 PSI in any of my tanks. And I made sure that all of my hoses and all my quick connects are rated for over 300 PSI. Alright, so we're at 3 hours, 22 minutes. Do you see yourself making this a profitable business past YouTube? Yes, guys, listen. I'm not doing this to freaking be an influencer. I'm not doing this to be a Paul brother, to one day fight Mike Tyson. I'm doing this so we can get some plastic waste out this world. Alright? I know I'm utilizing social media to get this thing off the ground and let people know what I'm doing. But if I don't make this a business and get these machines in every country, city, and province on Earth, then I'm wasting my own time. We're here to solve plastic waste. That's what we're here to do. That's what I started. That's where I'm going to end. That's period. And I don't care if I had to give it all up, all the social media stuff. I believe that people deserve to know what I'm doing, the progress that's happening, and to be a part of the journey. But at the end of the day, the goal and the mission remains the same. And I would never be diluted or eroded or distracted by the, by the things that are not the mission. Andrew Law, thank you for the 100 stars on Facebook. I appreciate you, man. Always, man. You've been showing a lot of love. Can you repeat this, brother? I can't find... What'd you say? I can't find... Why can't I see the freaking message? Okay, I'll repeat the P.O. Box. If you want to send me plastic or anything, my P.O. Box is 8491 Hospital Drive, number 237, Douglasville, Georgia, 30134. You can also find it in my link tree, which is on every social media. Just hopped on, so you got another 2 hours. I don't have another 2 hours. The machine is at 3 hours and 24 minutes. We only got 5 minutes left of running the machine. But I want to make sure that the plastic is in there and broken down and stuff. So, the last run I did, guys, I did not do it to completion. The plastic did not all break down. Thank you for another 100 stars, Joshua. Much love, Joshua Hance on the Facebook. Showing a lot of love. Now, we're 3 hours, 25 minutes in. I'm still seeing a lot of oils. I'm still seeing a lot of vapors. We're still making natural gas. So maybe, let's push it to 4 hours, guys. Let's push it to 4 hours, because I've never done a 4-hour run before. I usually always stop at 3 hours. Let's see what 4 hours will do. So we got 30 more minutes. But I'm still seeing oils. And you guys, come on. Diddy is not going to be happy with me. Not that he could do anything, he's in jail, but he's not going to be happy with me if he knows I didn't get every drop of oil for him. Every drop of baby oil. Andrew Law, thank you for the 45 stars on Facebook. Much love to you guys, showing much love. I appreciate you guys. Why not convert an AC unit into a vehicle engine and possibly make the vehicle run on condenser fans? That confused me. How can you turn an AC into an engine? Alright, anyways. Yeah, we're still getting a consistent flow of oil. Consistent flow, temperatures. Everywhere on the machine is over 100 degrees centigrade, which means that there's zero water vapor anymore. Does styrofoam convert to the same oil? Yes. We can put every type of plastic in this machine and it will turn it all into oil. Yeah, you still can't see oils through this sight glass under this big boy condenser. That sucks. Thank you for the $10 super chat, Robert Anderson on the YouTube. You said, you're doing amazing work. I always thought that was possible. Yes, indeed. Look, guys, there's very few things that are impossible. There's very few things. You know, most of the time, it's a matter of technology. It's a matter of research, prior research. I was very fortunate when getting into the field of pyrolysis. God damn, I just turned this thing back on. I was very fortunate when getting into the field of pyrolysis, plastic into fuel, that there were tons of research papers on it, tons of companies doing it. So that way I could be like, okay, I can see what's been done and I can know what can be done better. So I knew right away, we gotta move to microwaves. We gotta make this thing operate off of electricity. We gotta make this thing operate off of solar panels. We gotta make this thing operate continuously. I didn't even waste my time building a machine or selling a company, making a company that sells machines that are not operating off of microwaves, that are not continuous, right? I knew right away what the pitfalls were in the industry via research. What has failed, but what works. Some people say pyrolysis failed and nobody does it. And it's old tech that never worked. Well, there's tons of companies all around the world that do it. Look it up. Tons of profitable. I've spoken to the execs of some humongous pyrolysis companies. Humongous. They're usually not in America though, because America has a gray zone on what they consider this oil. They're usually either in Europe, countries in Europe, India, or Asia. In Africa, they don't have the big pyrolysis companies. They do have a lot of people doing pyrolysis, but no, those companies are like big. But the point is, there's actually some in Mexico too. But the point I'm trying to make is, pyrolysis does work. It does work on a business perspective too. The only issue is, it needs to work even better. There's improvements that need to be made. And one of the biggest improvements is actually letting people know that it exists. A lot of people don't know what exists. Jenny Boys, thank you for the $10 super chat on YouTube. You said, love your drive, keep it up always, man. You said, show the oil flow. What is the purpose of pulling a vacuum? I'm curious. Let me show you guys the oil flow first. And then I'll tell you guys why we pull a vacuum. Hey, Dan Schmitz, I just got your email on YouTube about the solar panels, man. I'll be checking it out, okay? I'm a very busy person, so please be patient with me. But I'll try to respond to you either tonight or early tomorrow. So you can see we got a consistent oil flow, guys, coming out. And this is just one area. You got to remember, oils are condensing here, oils are condensing in here, oils are condensing up here, oils are condensing down here. There's a lot of oil coming out that we cannot see. But we got visible oil. Let me show you guys on Instagram. We got visible oil. We got visible oil, a consistent flow coming down on just this one site glass. In fact, I think you can see it up here too. The site glass is dirty, but the bottom should have some oil. I don't know. But anyway, there's also oil condensing inside of here and all over up here. Let me show Facebook as well. Now I'll tell you guys why I operate this machine. I'll tell you guys why I operate this machine under negative pressure, or under vacuum. And that reminds me, I need to check my gas tanks too. Alright, so take a look at this. There we go, we got oil coming down. And then remember, there's also oil that is condensing inside of this keg. You can't really see it because this sight glass is too cloudy. And then oil's condensing up here too. So we got a lot of oils, guys. In fact, I'll tell you guys some of the numbers I got from the HDPE run. We did 5 pounds of HDPE, and I got about half a gallon of oil. So we're making a gallon per 10 pounds of plastic, which is not bad, but not that good either. I want it even better. Like I told you guys, we're losing a lot of our oil because the condenser's not catching it all. So we're gonna get a wart coil like the moonshiners use, and hopefully that can catch all of our oil, but we'll see. Let me check my gas tanks. Gas tanks are good. Alright, so. Alright, great question. You said, why did I operate this under vacuum? So, my first 4 machines before this were just microwave pyrolysis reactors. Okay? And that means that they just use microwaves under atmospheric slight positive pressure to turn plastic into fuel. Okay? You said 10 pounds for a gallon is impressive. It is, because that, you know, that it doesn't really matter the rates, because we want to put as much plastic in there to get rid of plastic. But I want to get that even better. I want to get 5 pounds per gallon. And you can do that with catalysts and stuff. I got a lot of experimentation to do. But guys, my first 4 machines operated under slight positive pressure, at most about 1 to 5 psi. Okay? And so I built Mark 4.5, assuming it would do the same thing. Run under slight positive pressure. But at some point, I was having issues with my machines where they would constantly have gasket leaks. Not gasket leaks on the pipes, but gasket leaks on the microwaves. You see, the microwave parts of this machine have a very special material that allows microwaves to pass through them, but no vapors to exit, to keep the machine airtight, but allow microwaves to get in there. This material has to be heat resistant, chemical resistant, microwave transparent, and pressure resistant. There's very few materials on Earth that match all those characteristics. Some materials can do everything except for not get diddied by microwaves. Microwaves can mess some certain materials up. So, when I'd have this machine operate under positive pressure, those gasket seals that I used to seal with the microwaves, well, the positive pressure would eventually, you know, put vapors on those seals, and then oils would form on those seals, on the layer. And then the oils would form carbon. And carbon absorbs microwaves like crazy. So then carbon would form on the layer of the gasket. The microwaves would hit it, the gasket would heat up. So like, I mean, the material I use can withstand hot temperatures. They literally use this material in spaceships. But it got way past 2,000 degrees Fahrenheit, destroyed the seal, have a blowout. Not an explosion, but a blowout. And so, one day, I was doing an experiment. I was running my machine, and I was like, I saw a lot of oil coming out. I'm like, okay, I had a pump that I used to compress my natural gas, an air conditioner, an AC compressor. I gotta have an AC unit. And I hooked it up to the end of the machine. And I was like, what happens if I turn this on while the machine is running? I turned it on, and the amount of oils that started flowing out the machine was crazy. So I'm drinking a beer right now. We'll drink some water too. Beer doesn't do the same effect. Now, where was I in my story? Now, I was telling you guys, that was the first time when I hooked up the AC compressor or the air conditioner compressor to my machine. That was the first time I ever experimented with negative pressures, a suction force on the machine. And I did it initially for oil yields. I saw a ton of oils come out. But then I started to notice other advantages when I started to do it more and more. Mainly, that when I started to run my machine under negative pressure, I never had a gasket blowout again. I didn't have one in forever. And I was like, wait a minute. It makes sense. Because before, if the vapors were pushing on the gaskets, condensing a little bit and forming oils, well, if they're being sucked through the machine, they have no time to do that. They have no time to gather and form oils on the gaskets. So that makes the machine safer because there's no more blowouts, so there's no more sudden leaks. That's safer for the environment too, because now there's no more sudden leaks of raw, unfiltered pyrolysis gas. By the way, guys, I didn't mention this, but the natural gas product that I put in my tanks, it goes through a catalytic filter system full of activated carbon, activated alumina, activated bentonite, and silica. And it goes through all of those things because I can do that when things are controlled like this. So, and just for reference, because some of you guys always want to say something, activated carbon gets benzene. Activated carbon absorbs benzene. And activated carbon absorbs a ton of nasty stuff. And guess what you can do with the activated carbon when it's spent? Put it in the reactor. Alright? But anyways, so that there was that advantage of you know, the vacuum not causing any more blowouts. It was the advantage of not being under positive pressure. If this machine right now had a gasket leak, it would suck in air. And if it sucked in enough air to create an explosive environment, which is unlikely because this chamber is stock full of the plastic vapor. Well, not even plastic vapors anymore. Hydrocarbon vapors. There would have to be a lot of air. It's only going to suck in enough air to equalize to atmospheric pressure. And right now, we're actually not at much of a vacuum at all. So like right now, if a gasket broke, it wouldn't even blow up. It would just suck in a little bit of air. So it wouldn't blow up. But back then, when it was operating under positive pressure, if a gasket blows under positive pressure, well, it's not gonna be an explosion, but it would definitely be like a loud noise and stuff, right? So anyways, another advantage to putting this machine under negative pressure is when you have these compressors, like a AC compressor, or what I'm using now, a recovery pump. One end sucks in to keep it under negative pressure, and one end pushes it out under high pressure. So now I'm able to suck in, this plastic natural gas alternative and push it out under high pressure to push it into high pressure tanks to compress it right away, instead of, because before what I was doing was I was having my natural gas vapor go into a bladder, my yoga balls, and the bladders would fill up, and then I compress those bladders into tanks. That's a whole extra step. Don't have to do that now. It's built into the machine now. So I'm never going back to without vacuum. Never. There's too many advantages. And then the last advantage is that when you run a machine under vacuum, it actually takes less energy. It lowers the required boiling point for things to break apart under heat. So it actually takes slightly less energy to break down the plastic now that it's under vacuum. So that's another advantage. And then another hidden advantage that we will not know until I start to do analysis is vacuum pyrolysis is actually different from just regular pyrolysis. You can have the exact machine break down plastic at the exact same temperatures, but if you do one under vacuum, you will get different products. Why? Let me give you an example. So benzene, for example, is a dense chain of hydrocarbons. It's almost shaped like a soccer ball, a hexagon. And it forms through the process of cyclicalization. And what that essentially means is you take a few hydrocarbons and you put them together. You said, Joshua Lopez says, I'm so hard right now. Great for you, man. Yeah, great for you. So you take a few hydrocarbons, right? When they're in the environment of like heat, and then they come together and they form this strong shape, and they stay like that, right? But so when you have a machine that's operating under just atmospheric pressure, there's more time for those type of reactions to happen. But when you have a machine operating under vacuum, well, these hydrocarbons break apart and they're instantly being sucked up and cooled down. They may not have as much time to form these cyclic rings of things like benzene, for example. These complex hydrocarbon chains of things like that. Now, this is a theory. We're gonna see when I get this analyzed, and we're gonna see what it looks like. But this is just a theory. And a lot of research papers talk about this type of stuff with but vacuum pyrolysis, right? So side reactions happen. I put plastic in here, the microwaves break it down into this vapor, the petroleum vapor, but then that petroleum vapor starts to react with itself and form different products. But when you have it being sucked out really quickly and then cooled down, it has less time, because once it cools down, it has no more energy to do these side reactions. So, that's another advantage of vacuum. But to how much of an extent would that improve the process? The only way we would know is when I get this stuff analyzed, right? And I guess technically, if I want to be super scientific, I should get all my oils analyzed with a vacuum run and all my oils analyzed with a non-vacuum run. But I personally am not interested in that, because I'm never going to run this machine under non-vacuum, because it's very, very advantageous in almost every way to run it under vacuum. So that was a very complex answer to a very complex question, really. Well, not a complex question, but a very good question at that. So thank you for your question. We're at 3 hours, 43 minutes. Let's see our energy consumption. We've only been running 3 magnetrons. The temperatures of the machine are very hot. In fact, we could turn it down to 2 magnetrons now because we're pretty much only processing plastic at the end of the machine. So we're just going to turn down to keep on those 2 magnetrons at the end to reduce energy consumption. Let's see how much power we're at. I think we're still making oils and stuff. So we are at 28 kilowatt hours, and I normally would turn off magnetrons at this point, but I'm going to do the opposite. Now that we literally only have about 15 minutes left in this run, I'm going to turn all of them on in the hopes of like getting the most out of what's in there as possible. Let's do it. Because we can turn all these on and we're not going to consume 2 kilowatt hours in 15 minutes. So we'll still be under 30 kilowatt hours. You said, Julian, can I send you some guns? Hey, absolutely, you can send me some firearms, man. Because I'm out here, you know, I have a firearm with me, but I never say no to that. Because, look, people are weird. Like, people talk about the government, this, government, that. I'm more worried about people. I've had some weird experiences with people, okay? Who killed John Lennon? Who killed XXXTentacion? Who killed Nipsey Hussle? People. Who killed Tupac? People. It doesn't matter. Oh, were they hired by it's people, okay? Everybody wants to talk about the big organizations. It's just the people, okay? You gotta be ready. You gotta stay strapped. So yes, you can send me some guns. And that would be perfect timing because I actually was about to purchase a firearm, another firearm. Actually, myself. So, yeah, because I just turned 21, so now I can get my permit to have concealed firearms. And you best believe I'm gonna be strapped up. You'll be seeing, I'll be looking like John Wick. You'll be looking at this wall behind me, you'll just see guns. Because I'm not playing with y'all, y'all need to know. Come up in here, trespass over here, you're shot. I'm not taking any chances, I'm sorry. So there's too many people that I'm sure want me dead. Thank you, Joshua and Andrew Law, for more stars on the Facebook. Thank you, guys. I appreciate it. Did TikTok kick you off? David Robinson asked on the Facebook. No, TikTok, it was shadow banning me. Look, there was a time, guys, you probably would never believe this, but I used to go on TikTok and always have 10 to 20,000 people in there, right? But now, I can't even get 10 people in there, mate. And I have more followers than I had back then. So it is what it is, whatever. You know, I'm gonna keep doing what I do regardless. Hey, look, every platform on earth could ban me. I do this for me. I do this because I want to see this work. So I don't even have to be on social media at the end of the day. I just love to share it with the world. But here's the thing, though. Here's the thing, right? I'm using Starlink, and Starlink is pretty expensive. So it's not worth my gigabytes to go live on TikTok if there's only like 10 people in there. If on every other platform I'm live on, well, there's at least like 50 people, except for Facebook right now. Except Facebook was at like 70. But whatever, at this point we leave it on. No, I'm on IG, man. I'm on IG, Bennett. Yeah, any plastic that doesn't completely break down could just go right back in. Because we mix the plastic with the carbon anyway. And thank you guys for the likes on the YouTube. Yeah, I got security cameras out here, and I'm gonna be getting some motion sensors soon. I'm gonna get some motion sensor lights. You know, but I got trail cams. I got firearms. You know, we're trying to keep it safe out here. I mean, even for animals. You know, if I'm out here, a freaking Wendigo pops up. like a gun is gonna do anything to these interdimensional creatures, right? You said how much waste is made? Are there permanent elements that don't break down? So here's the thing, right? By nature of organic chemistry, every single organic material will break down under heat if it's hot enough. There are certain temperatures where organic materials cannot exist. So the only permanent things that can be left assuming the reactor gets hot enough, are carbon and minerals. And minerals could be metal, could be glass, could be, you know, dirt, like clay, rocks, whatever. But that's all that could be left if the reactor is evenly hot enough. And that's the point of the auger blades, to spread the heat evenly. To where, hopefully, in theory, by the time the plastic reaches the end of the machine, because the augers are constantly pushing it forward, there's no plastic left. And that's the only way that this reactor can operate continuously, and we can load in plastic from the back, and if the blades are spinning at a constant rate slow enough to where by the time it reaches the end, it's carbon and it's discharged from the machine and it goes into its own collection area, right? How much of a vacuum are you pulling? It's a really low vacuum. I can't, let me see if I can actually get my thing here. So, when I initially start my machine like today, I started at what do you call that? Well, my sensor is calibrated to negative PSI, because it doesn't have inches of mercury on it, which is stupid. But I was at negative 10 PSI, and so it's based off of the fact that atmospheric pressure is 14.7 PSI. So negative 10 PSI, so a full vacuum we know is about 29 inches of mercury. So negative 10 PSI is just negative 4.7 PSI away from being a full vacuum. So I was almost at a complete vacuum. I was just 4.7 PSI away from a full vacuum. But as soon as the machine turns on and starts operating, we have vapors that are forming in here that are fighting the vacuum. And then the recovery pump is also compressing the vapors into natural gas tanks, or these recovery cylinders, which also puts strain on the pump to make it to where it cannot pull as strong of a vacuum anymore. So right now we're literally at 0.4 of a vacuum. It's still negative pressure, but it's almost none, because these tanks are really starting to get up in pressure. In fact, my big tank behind me here is at I think it's at over 200 PSI right now of pressure, and then all my smaller tanks are completely filled up. I go up to about 200 PSI at 250, then I stop. They can go up to 400 PSI, but if I push them above 250, the pump starts to bog down so much, I'm not really under a vacuum anymore. Anyway, so right now we're not really pulling much of a vacuum, but it's still negative pressure, which is all that matters. So yeah, guys, we got 10 minutes left of this run. This is the longest live stream I've done in a long time. In fact, what are we at? YouTube says 160 minutes. So almost 3 hours, 2.5 hours. Julian, were you saying that your previous experiments didn't run under vacuum at all? Yes, all of my past reactors from Mark 1 to Mark 4 did not operate under any vacuum. They were all under positive pressure. And I always would have leaks. That's why he blew up. No, that's not why I blew up. That's not why I blew up. I blew up because I didn't turn my vacuum pump on. So it's the opposite. And that was on my distiller. Okay, that was not the machine. The machine, if I don't turn the vacuum pump on, one of the microwave gaskets will blow out. They're basically blow plates, or whatever they call it, pressure relief valves. They only can go up to about, I'd say, 15 PSI of positive pressure before they blow out. So they act as pressure relief valves. But this thing is made of propane tanks. It's welded really good. This thing is not going to blow up with shrapnel. At any pressure less than probably a few thousand yeah, it's like a burst disc, exactly. How are you running a pyrolysis reaction if you got oxygen present? I don't have oxygen present, or I have such a small amount, because like I said, I pulled just a few bits away from almost a full vacuum on this thing before we even got started. So there's very little oxygen present. But even if you start this machine without pulling a vacuum and you have just residual oxygen, it makes its way out very quickly, because the vapors of this machine displace all the oxygen anyway. The vapors that form. So they do that very quickly. We got 7 minutes left of the run, guys. So, here's the thing. Right now, our body temperature is at 200 C. Plastic breaks down really the best at between 250 to 300 C. And this is proof of my theory. It's not even really much of a theory. We all know that microwaves heat through the inside out. You put a hot pocket in the microwave, the middle might be hot, the outside might be cold if you don't cook it long enough. But we don't actually know the temperatures of the surface of the plastic, which is kind of an issue. I wish we could, but unfortunately, I gotta figure out a tool or a thermometer that can let us know the surface level temperature of the plastic, because it's obviously not 200 degrees C. 200 degrees C is the outside body temperature, which is how much heat energy is being conducted from the plastic onto the body. So by nature, the plastic has to be much hotter than 200 degrees C. 200 degrees C, what is that? Like is that almost 400, like 430 degrees Fahrenheit? Yeah, very little oxygen in the vacuum. Very little oxygen. So we have no side reactions with oxygen. With the that's another advantage to this machine operating under vacuum, especially when we pull the initial vacuum on the machine, because we don't have any side or very little side reactions with any type of oxygen, because there's almost no oxygen in the machine, because it's almost all evacuated just to get this thing to start. That's the first step of turning this machine on, to pull a very deep vacuum. So I'm just spinning the blades. How long does it take to break down a full load? I actually have never fully loaded this machine. And it's unfortunate to say that, because my plastic shredder recently broke and I was ready to do a full load run. I speculate that a full load will be about 30 pounds of shredded plastic in a single batch. And the biggest run I've ever done has been 10 pounds of shredded plastic, and that only filled up about a quarter of the machine. So I cannot tell you how long it takes yet, but we've been doing this run for 4 hours. My average run is usually 3 hours, but I wanted to see, doing 4 hours, would it make much of a difference, because I usually wait until we don't see much visible vapors, but I put in some pretty big plastic bags in here, some pretty dense plastic bags. You know the bags you get when you order rocks? Those really thick bags, I put those in here. And I want to see, well, how much do they, how long do they take to break down? And we're still getting oils, we're still getting vapor, so I'm just keeping the machine running. But we're going to stop it at 4 hours, because it's getting dark out here. I can hardly see myself, I can hardly see my own black ass, and on top of that, I'm getting quite tired. So we're going to only do 4 hours. And I got video content of this too. So we're going to see, you know, the oils and all that. All you guys are going to see all that stuff, alright? So you take Adderall, no drugs. No drugs around here, man. Listen, we live in such a world nowadays where every day you wake up and take a breath outside, there are things that are fighting against your health. You know, you can't control if there's pesticides in the air. You can't control if there's microplastics in your water. You can't control if there's microplastics in your hair that you end up breathing in. You know, the pesticides on your food, just all this stuff, you know. So every day that you live, your health is already at a disadvantage. So you have to do as much as you can to do good things for your health, right? So, you know, you want to do the least amount of things that can hurt you. And I know something like, you know, some people take Adderall because it helps them be energized or whatever, but I would rather, you know, I have to take a nap. You know, take something that'll give me energy now, but hurt me on the back end. Because we already get hurt every day just by the state of the world now. Okay? You can't even be a fetus without microplastics getting in there. Okay? A fetus can't even exist without being at a health disadvantage in this world. Okay? So you don't need to add on top of that insult to injury by doing external substances that do even more damage to the already damaging world we live in to begin with, right? That's why I tell you, drink water, because when Diddy comes for that throat, the water is the only thing that's going to make it lubed up. All right, so 2 minutes left, guys. 2 minutes left. Now, we're still getting a ton of vapor formation. In fact, let me show you guys the vapor formation. The run is clearly not done. The plastic is clearly not all broken down, because look at all the vapors. But we gotta end it, because it's getting too late. I don't feel like running this thing anymore. It's okay. It is what it is. The run is clearly not done. I was surprised how much oil we got from it. got a lot of oil for this plastic bags. Look, the side glass is completely cloudy. You look close enough, you can see like clouds moving through it. But honestly, I'm tired. It's late. I want to do 2 runs of the machine tomorrow. I told you guys, I did this run not even for oil, not even to completely break down the plastic, but I did this run to get enough plastic natural gas to run my distiller, okay? And I did that. So, we met the goal. How's it going, fellow science? What's up, Brendan Robbins? Much love to you, man. He's a subscriber on the Facebook. It's Reactor. What's good with you, man? Good to see you in the live stream. Good to catch you. This has been my longest live stream I've ever done. Hey, what do you guys think? Should I do more long live streams of like pretty much the whole run of the machine? Should I? Let me know, guys, because I can do it. Look, when I run this machine, I'm standing here, just monitoring things the whole time. So I kind of might as well just go live, right? I mean, you guys let me know. I can do it. Look, because tomorrow I'm planning on doing 2 runs and 2 distillations. The distillation, the big distillation of all my oils, so I can make some plastoline to put in my weed whacker and some plastic diesel for the bus I want to run, and then a very scientific and controlled glassware distillation of the HDPE crude oil we got. What's up, Connor? Good to see you, man. Everybody's saying, yup, all right, more lives it is. More lives it is, guys. But we got the HDPE crude oil here, guys. And this, I'm going to do a distillation in my glassware with my electric still. Very precise temperatures to very scientifically distill out the plastoline, the plastic diesel, the plastic kerosene. So we can send that in conjunction with this to mass spec everything on Instagram, get this stuff analyzed, okay? So we got 2 distillations to do tomorrow, 2 plastic to fuel runs tomorrow, 1 in the morning, 1 in the nighttime. And that reminds me, all right, it's 4 hours, but, so we're about to get off the live stream, but that reminds me, guys, some of you probably wonder, what does that look like? Like when the machine is done running, what do? Especially if I want to do 2 runs. You love seeing the progress? Thank you, man. So listen, guys, when I finish running this machine, it is very hot. The middle of the machine is 200 degrees C. And there's vapors still forming. If I open this machine when it's hot and vapors are still forming, I'm going to be releasing all these vapors into the atmosphere. Not okay. You have to wait 3 hours minimum. Because, I mean, this reactor is insulated quite well. 3 hours minimum for it to cool down and for all the vapors inside the reactor to condense out. Then you can open it. And then load more plastic in and start it. But you see, that's a waste of energy. That's why I've been telling you guys we need to make this continuous. What a waste of energy. This is so hot right now. Imagine if I could just load in plastic right now while it's this hot. But I gotta wait for it to cool down just to heat it back up. That's why 2025, early 2025, because I'm getting my next grant payment, then I'm gonna put pretty much all that money towards making this thing continuous. Okay? So that way we can load plastic in safely while it's running. And we no longer have to waste energy cooling it down just to heat it up again. So we are going to do that. And with that being said, guys, thank you very much for tuning in. And we did a very long live stream. I just can't wait to see my Starlink bill after this. I am so intrigued to see what they're going to hit me with, how many gigabytes I consumed. Goodness gracious. But it's all right. It was worth it. And thank you guys for your donations, of course, because, you know, you guys paid for the live stream because you definitely covered the cost of however much Starlink Elon Musk is about to bill me for this. But so thank you guys so much for your donations. Like I said, this is 100% crowdfunded. This research in plastic into fuel. I appreciate you guys. We got tons of videos coming out, tons of content always. So you guys stay looking forward to what we're doing. Look forward to the analysis coming soon. Hopefully that guy can mass spec everything and get back to me before the end of the year, but we'll see. That'll be a great gift. And thank you guys for stopping by. I'll be back tomorrow because we're gonna be doing 2 runs tomorrow. I might go live in the morning. I don't know. Maybe I should so I can tap into my my audience, other parts of the world. Because my first one will be early in the morning. My next one will be later in the day. But we'll see, guys. Anyways, with that being said, take care, guys. Have a great night. And stay hydrated, all right? You know why at this point. Stay hydrated.